And somehow, did y'all not just see that? Y'all not just see the lightning? Y'all hear that? I'm getting out of here. That's crazy. That's crazy. It is literally raining, thunderstorm in Arizona, June 1st. Never thought I'd see the day. Never ever did I think I'd see the day, but the day is now here. The day has officially come. What up, everyone hopping in? Talking about how to transfer a weak body into a strong body and strong mind. So today's focus is mainly going to be how I kind of went from a weak body and mind to a strong body and mind, kind of my process, journey, strategies, different stuff like that we're going to go over to. Yeah, I also haven't been live in a lot lately too. Like I took a little probably 20-hour break. So I also haven't been doing the lives, but we're trying to get back into it because we're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers today. But I got you. I'm not trying to be weird, but yeah, hell yeah, just try your best, brother. We're just talking about how to become the strongest versions of ourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Also, let me put a PSA in the chat. But yeah, that's basically what this video, or not video, this stream's about, is how to become a less weak version of yourself, how to become stronger mentally, physically, spiritually. This is another serious stream, yes. All my streams are going to be way, way more serious. The only reason, I mean, the odds of me having a non-serious stream is probably once a week. If I do gotcha. Yeah, no. I'll probably do a non-serious stream once a week of just ask me anything to give advice. But right now, no, we're talking about the realness of the situation, and if you're here to mess around, then definitely not the vibe. 1000%. We're trying to figure out how to become stronger as men. The chill stream probably going to be a week from now. I'm not going to lie. I really want to lock in with what I'm actually trying to pitch to you guys and do, which is, getting bigger, stronger, more mentally cognitive, just becoming the best versions of yourself. And I can't do that when, we if there's distractions going on in the stream. So I want to make the streams more specific to content that is specifically for a certain type of group of people. Even if there's less people in the stream, actually I'm not bothered by that. I'd rather have 10 viewers that are locked in and are listening than 30 viewers that half of them are just there purely because they want to say some stuff. When did you start? So I started junior senior year. Like I said, I'm not going to say one or the other because it was really a gradual change. Okay, nothing's overnight. It took me a couple push-ups in my room here and there, working kind of hard in my room, to then transitioning it into, okay, well, maybe I could start going to the gym at my school a couple days a week, to transitioning it to, okay, I'm going to the gym now 5 to 6 days a week consistently and eating a good diet. So all of those things really changed from the weak mindset to the strong mindset really gradually for me. And then, through there, this is kind of how the weak mindset to growth mindset goes. It's not you guys think it's overnight or takes, the same. It's not, it's neither of those. It's exponential. It keeps on getting bigger and bigger. The better you get, the easier it's going to get. Okay. But it's also up to you on how exponential the growth is going to be. Okay. If you decide that you're that person that constantly is upgrading your mental discipline and constantly saying, I want to become more mentally disciplined, less weak, even though you were so weak before, it's how do you transformation? How do you have such a transformation? Guys, look at Goggins. Okay. Goggins was literally 300 pounds in his living room, eating, BS, thinking he was going to die, to, running marathons, full, very little body fat, just a complete transformation. If you don't know who David Goggins is, please learn about him, because it'll definitely help you guys through a transition of having a weak mindset to a, strong mindset. Because what will happen is you'll see that someone that maybe relates to you actually had the same weak mindset, maybe even a weaker one, and was able to use that motivation of that weak mindset and of those tough times to create the strongest mindset possible. That's the thing, is you guys think like, oh, I'm too late. I just am not built for it. The truth is, anyone's built for it if they can put their mind to it, but you have to put your mind to it. That's the thing. If you don't, then it's not going to work. Okay, so David Goggins, okay? I would recommend every single person watching this stream, please David space Goggins. David Goggins. Used to be Marine Corps, motivational speaker, pull-up record, all this different stuff, but he used to be 300 pounds spraying for cockroaches, whatever, eating milkshakes or drinking milkshakes in the morning. You know what I mean? You guys have to understand, this guy is a big part of my mindset. A big part of what we talk about is what he talks about, okay? Just so you know. So, like, when I talk about these things and I'm like, hey, guys, listen to this guy, I'm saying that because he has been doing this way longer than I have. He's been thinking it way more than I have, okay? He's been working way longer than I have. So, yeah, I would love for you guys to also have someone like that to listen to because, yeah, maybe I relate to you more because I can kind of get to your, brain a little bit more just with the, relatability. But the truth is, he's a good leader to follow. Like, he's a good person to follow. He's a good person to, like, listen to, and a good person to be, like, take advice on mental discipline, how to mentally manipulate your brain into doing things you don't want to do because you know it's for the greater good. He's all about, like, the idea that you're constantly going against yourself. Like, it's just a war against yourself constantly, day after day. It's just you against you. No one else, just you against you. And I mean, yeah, there is just nothing else better than watching someone that can truly just motivate people like that, thrive, and have a complete change success story. That's the thing. It's not like, oh, he kind of had good genetics, you know what I mean? And then he just kind of got a little bit stronger. It's like, no. He was 300 pounds, and then he got the pull-up record. From fat, lazy, doing nothing, depressed, to pull-up record. That is unheard of. Most people don't think that's possible. Because they're like, no, you can't just go from someone that was super fat and lazy to someone that could just do a pull-up record. But the truth is, that's what it is. That's that motivation in the beginning of being 300 pounds. Every time he did those pull-ups, you know who he thought about? His 300-pound self that never thought he could ever do it. That's what he thought about. You know what I mean? So when that other person's going for the pull-up record and they don't have that story, you know what I mean, life was easier, what are they thinking about? They're thinking about how life was easy, and that's not going to motivate them to do the pull-ups. And that's why they don't get the record, and that's why he does. Because he has that thing that something really, really bad happened. He can always look back at that time. That's why. That's why he broke the record. And then you look at the second person that broke the record, or after Goggins, like, I don't remember what it was, but it was recent. And you look at his life, same exact thing. Underestimated his entire life. Oh, and like people didn't see it, you know what I mean? People didn't know. They're just like, oh my God, you're so great, pull-up record. It's like, did you know what happened in his childhood? Do you know he was always underestimated, always wanted to be athletic, and he like always felt like inadequate? Like people don't know this stuff. They just see the end result and they're just like, wow, this person's a beast. Wow, they're really locked in. Wow. But they don't see like, hey, wait a second, what happened to them before that caused that? Like what happened, what gave them that edge? What made them so bothered that they needed to do that? Like there must have been something. Right? They can't just be like, oh, no, he just built different. He just wanted it more. Like, why did he want it more? Why? What up, everyone hopping in? We're talking about weakness, how to become less weak, how I became less weak over my transition of low test to high testosterone, naturally, building muscle, diet, all those different things. We're just talking about how to become a less weak individual overall, how to just become mentally stronger, more mentally resilient, and just win at life, take back what's yours in life. That's basically my whole thing, is that sometimes y'all think that it's impossible if you feel like you're weak to get out of that, because you're like, no, that's not who I am. These people clearly just have something different in their bodies, and I'm the only one that doesn't. And it's like, no, every single human has that thing. That's the actual truth. That's the actual truth that couldn't be more true, is everyone has a little bit more in them than they think. Okay, it's part of being a human. It's part of having that it's like second hit of like energy for survival. We need that second thing to survive. If we didn't have it, then we wouldn't really be a thriving species on Earth, we'd probably have the, you know, dang, I'm the only one left. Used to think that too. Dad used to think that I'm the only one left. So here's the thing. I used to think that everything bad in my life was everyone else's fault, pretty much. Like I had such a victim mentality. And it was all based off self-love, which was actually, a good thing. But the bad part was I was so like, no, it's not my fault. No, this isn't my fault. I was so like, no, I'm perfect, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not my fault. That I was so into that it actually hurt me. Because I would like for example, I would be like, it's not my fault I'm skinny, you know what I mean? Like, I literally just have the worst genetics. Like, clearly, like, you can see my genetics compared to everyone else. Even people that claim to be skinny, like, if you look at my genetics and how much, muscle they grow compared to me, still, even someone that's considered skinny, I'm still way, way lower. And I always used to blame it. I'm like top 1% worse genetics when it comes to building muscle. That's how I always used to think. That's how I used to think, because it was kind of true. I do consider myself like a top 0.001% worst genetics for building muscle. 1 trillion gazillion percent. And the only reason I actually even optimized after was because of my testosterone optimization and cutthroat mentality of working harder than everyone else. So, yeah, I do believe that I did really not get great muscle building genetics, and I did blame it on everything, and that's what made me weak, and that's why I was weak. Okay, because if I didn't blame it on everything and said, no, I don't care, this is going to make me strong, I would have been stronger. But I didn't. So I did it now, and now I'm stronger. But if I would have done it back then, would have been way stronger. And that's the truth and reality of the situation. How much time did it take you to look that jacked? Okay. So it took about 3 to 4 years, but 3 years of consistent high-intensity training, bulking, dieting, lifestyle, biohacking, trial and error, all those different types of things. So I started doing the push-ups in my room like 4 years ago, but I started actually hitting the gym and prioritizing meals and everything 3 years ago. And so, yeah, that definitely made a difference because, like I said, there's no overnight change. Everything takes time. It's like anything else. Like, every single thing that you do that's going to be worth it is going to take a lot of time. And I think I was, like, I had everyone else's issue where I was just way, way, way too consumed or concerned about the time it took. Like, I was like, the idea that it's going to take this long, no, I can't handle that. But now I'm like, bro, like I would do this for the next 10 years if it meant getting the dream physique that I want. I'd do this for the next 20 years if it meant getting the dream physique I want. I'd do this for the next 30 years because I'm realizing it's not really about the time it takes. It's about, doing in general. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how long it takes. What matters is you're going to get it. So when you say something like 3 to 4 years is too hard, bro, my point is this. If I were to say 6 to 7 years or 6 to 8 or whatever, I would still say if you said that was too hard, then you don't have the mindset for it. I need to be able to say it takes 50 years and you need to be able to say, okay, I'll do it for 50 years. Because if not, then you don't have the mentality that you'll do whatever it takes until you get it. And that's what's really going to get you your dream physique is the idea that I don't really care about these numbers. I don't really care about the amount of weeks. I don't really care about how long it takes, all this stuff. All I care about is that I'm going to put in all the hard work I can with the information I have and see what happens, okay? That's the thing. You guys need to just work hard and see what happens. You guys are way too concerned about, if I do this much work, will I get this result? If I do this, will I get this? If I do this, will I get this? It's like, no, stop, okay? You're going to work until it happens, okay? You're not going to be like, oh, how long is it going to take? Oh, how long did it take you? Now, obviously, you can look at different people and be like, hey, I started doing this strategy and it made it way quicker for me. Yes. Obviously, do that trial and error research, learn your passion, learn other people's perspectives so you can make your own as well. But at the end of the day, yes, like you have to be into the mindset that even if it were to take that long, it doesn't matter. Even if the best, most smartest person were to tell me, or whatever, the smartest person in this field were to tell me, yes, it takes 10 years to actually build a good physique or actually blah, 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 then you're like, okay, cool. I will be working for the next 10 years because I'll do whatever it takes. That's the mindset you need to have. If you don't have that mindset, it's going to be extremely hard to build a dream physique. I'm 13, bro. I just want to lose weight. I mean, I'm still pretty fit, but I'm a bit more losing will make me very. Like I said, brother, lift weights. Lift weights, okay? Do push-ups and lift weights. That's what I tell you. Because the truth is, if you are like concerned about losing weight, then lifting weights is one of the best things that you can do. I know you guys hear, "Oh, what about the treadmill, cardio, running, all that stuff?" Guys, if you are doing high intensity training with good heavy movements and weightlifting, that is a form of cardio that is fine for you, okay? Now, obviously, if you're doing a sport, then you need a little bit more cardio for that specific sport. But if you're purely just focused on losing body fat, just focus on high intensity training, okay? Training high, I'd much prefer if you did 5 really, really good high intensity sprints than 30 minutes walking on a treadmill. 1,000%. That will 1,000% increase your testosterone more, better for growth, mental health, all of it. 1 trillion gazillion percent. You guys cannot be under the idea that the treadmill will help at all. Can I do jumping jobs? Yes, just jump ropes. Hell yeah, brother. Keep on doing your jump ropes, bro. That's fine. Keep doing your jump ropes, and also if you want to incorporate with the jump ropes, maybe after every jump rope you do some sprints. Okay, and be careful with the sprints, guys. If you haven't sprinted in like a really long time, I don't want you to just go out there and do sprints and be like, "Oh, he told me to do sprints," and then all of a sudden you pull something really quickly. Be smart, okay? We all know that some of y'all know that you're out of shape, and you can't just go out there and do sprints without pulling something or maybe having a heart attack. Unfortunately, it is what it is. I shouldn't really even say that. We shouldn't be out of shape, but we are. So in that case, just be smart. Stretch before, but like moving stretches, okay? Like butt kicks, high knees, A skips, B skips. I don't know if you guys know what that is. Like Frankenstein's, like all those different like moving warm-ups you guys did in sports, that's what you should be doing. Not staying still, stretching, okay? That's not how the body is going to stretch out the correct way. And then when you do the sprints, you do one like little warm-up sprint to get going, see how you feel, and then you go hard, okay? You act like you're chasing an animal or getting chased by an animal. Either one will trigger that fight or flight response. There's a survival instinct that will trigger a neurological, hormone of producing testosterone because, again, we were supposed to hunt and, eat animals. And, yeah, so that's why it produces testosterone. And that's why I say raw meat produces testosterone more and more bioavailable, because if you're sprinting and you're eating raw meat, it's a replica of hunting down an animal and eating it right then and there. So if that's the case, then by biological evolutionary definition of raising testosterone and being a healthy human being and being a competitive human being that's in the jungle, it would make the most sense to sprint and then eat raw meat after to get the highest form of testosterone, rather than lift okay weights, go on the treadmill, and then eat chicken and rice or chicken and vegetables or chicken and broccoli. Like, does that make sense? Like, cook chicken and broccoli over like a raw meat for just hunting ancestral purposes. Producing testosterone. Which one sounds like it's going to produce more testosterone? Which one sounds more evolutionarily correct? Like, which one sounds like, yeah, this is actually going to give the person power? Now, I know you guys are afraid of raw meat, even though there's things like steak tartare, which is also raw meat. It's just a fancier way of saying it that they serve at many, many fancy restaurants, especially Russian fancy restaurants that a bunch of rich people always eat all the time. They call it beef ceviche or beef tartare. It's all just raw steak. It's just a fancy way of saying raw steak. Because if you were to say raw steak on the menu, people would be like, what? No? And then they pay $30, the most expensive thing on the meal, for beef tartare, which is, again, just a fancy way of saying raw steak. So why are these really, really expensive places charging so much money for this thing that's apparently supposed to cause heart disease and kill you? Because that's what raw meat's supposed to do, or at least that's what everyone's saying, right? That's what I've always been told. And I never actually tried it. I was just told that. That was it. But I have tried steak tartare, and I was fine. And I've been eating lots and lots of really, really rare steaks that many of my friends and family have been like, bro, that is too rare. You're going to die. That's unhealthy. That's not safe. And I eat it. And not only do I feel good and not bad, like they told me I was going to, but I actually feel better than almost any other thing I eat, right? That's the crazy part, is when I were to eat a rare steak compared to a really, really cooked steak where they cooked out all the nutrients, I wouldn't feel as good. But if I were to eat like a prime rib that like they slow roasted, barely, like it's pretty like pink in the middle, like pretty raw, like rare, like not like raw, but like rare. Like clearly like most people wouldn't be able to handle it because it's too rare kind of vibe. That makes me feel so much better when I eat it. I get much better sleep, much better cognitive function, much better digestion, much better just overall everything is just better. And I know a lot of you guys are like, what do you mean raw fish, raw meat? That doesn't make any sense. I'm telling you guys, start doing it and see what happens. Look it up, research it. There are people out here that literally eat raw steak every single day to prove on the internet that they'll never get sick. And they're continuing to do it because they never get sick. I haven't gotten sick in the past 2-3 years. Apparently, people, that's not a thing. It's unheard of. But the truth is, if you actually do this the correct way, you actually put your mind to it, and you're not, convinced on what everyone else is saying, that's probably wrong. Like, haven't you not, I don't know if you've noticed this, but some of the people that tell you, oh my God, don't eat raw meat, blah, 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 do they look healthy? Like, seriously, like, some of the people that really be telling you, like, any health advice at all, do they look healthy? Like, if someone looks healthy and they're giving you health advice, then it's okay to be like, okay, I'm way more open-minded to what they're saying. I'll definitely take it way more consideration. But I swear to God, if some overweight person or someone that is clearly visibly unhealthy is trying to give you any health advice, why would you take it? Like, in what world would that be a good idea? This is what you guys need to start doing. Seriously, if you guys want to start optimizing advice from people and actually making sure that you're getting the correct advice. Every time you get advice from anyone, you look at the person and you say, do I want their lifestyle? So, if someone's looking at you and saying, hey man, have fun, go out, drink, you only live once, life's about experiences. And they're sitting there jobless, no good physique, constantly complaining about anxiety and depression. Do you really think that their advice is good? Because everyone's going to give good advice. Everyone's going to give advice. And the question is it going to be good or not? Everyone feels the need to give advice, okay? Everyone does. Even if they're not doing the life the right way, they still feel like they could give good advice to people. They still feel the need to give advice. It's like this weird human urge to give advice. I have the same urge too, but I just believe that my advice actually helps people. And the more that you guys text me, hey man, your advice helped me, that gets me excited and be like, okay, well clearly stuff's working, so I'm going to continue to give you guys advice. But that's what you guys have to do. So that's why I agree that if you guys are looking at me like, hey, well, I clearly want this guy's physique, so I'm going to listen to what he says. That's a logical decision. It's like, okay, he looks like what he says, so I'm going to listen to him. So again, another example. Say your doctor, right? And I know this is going to get a little deep and hit a little hard for you guys. Say your doctor's overweight, right? And they're telling you, hey, I'd recommend that since you're feeling sick, maybe you should, avoid red meat, stick to vegetables, and eat your whole grains or whatever. But they're overweight, right? And they're sitting there drinking their Diet Coke or whatever. Do you really want to listen to them about health? Like, if your doctor looks unhealthier than you, do you think that they really are better than you at health? Visibly, physically, mentally, they look unhealthier. Like, in what world should they be giving you advice about health? In what world? Seriously. In what world? The person that I think that makes the most sense to get advice about health is the person that's oldest, looks the best, and has the most energy in the morning. If you got those things, then I agree with you. If you're complaining about depression, anxiety, not and having energy in the morning, fat or belly fat or any things that any person in a tribe would never even describe as a thing. Like, people in the tribes, indigenous tribes would never even think about depression, anxiety, body fat. Those don't even exist. You need to hunt for your food. It is what it is. Body fat does not exist over there. So if it doesn't sound anything like that, then I'm just like, no, okay? Like, anything that doesn't sound normal or natural is not right. Also, you remember the people who were doing religious talking on the other stream? Yeah, I gotta be careful. I do a little bit too much religious talks because I like getting into it, but sometimes it's completely off topic. So I don't think raw steak is the one to go. Like, come on. Like I said, brother, a lot of steak in the USA is, given a lot of bad shit. A lot of cows aren't raised the correct way. So you got to be very careful on where you're getting your raw meat from. If you do it, make sure you get it from a butcher, a grass-fed, 100% grass-fed, probably like a local farm, okay? You want to make sure you're smart about your raw meat. But at the end of the day, I know that you guys are like, nah, man, come on. Everyone says this. I'm sorry. Have you ever tried raw red meat? Have you ever tried it to know? Have you ever seen anyone else try it to know? Have you ever watched anyone on YouTube try it and explain to you how they feel about it? No, I have. I've not only watched people on YouTube do it for almost a year and say how much better they feel and how much they've done it. I've also tried it myself and felt good and seen benefits from it. And I've constantly been eating rare steaks and, not raw, but rare, and constantly told by friends and family, people close to me that respect me, they're like, bro, that is not okay. That is unhealthy. I am telling you right now, that's unhealthy. And I'm like, I disagree. I think we've all been lied to, and I'm here to prove it by eating it and being a result of nothing bad happening to me. And not only nothing bad happening, but also good benefits happening to me, like not getting sick anymore, clear face, building muscle, higher testosterone, all these different things. So keep that in mind that, like, at the end of the day, I'm living proof of what I preach, okay? Like, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys, oh my God, like, like this, that, and the other thing without actually trying it myself. So, yes, I know it's hard. And yes, also be careful. I don't want you to just go to your local Walmart and just start eating raw steak. That's probably the stupidest thing you can do because Walmart probably has horrible steak that their cows are diseased up and you don't want any of that. But you start eating more steak. You start making your steaks a little rarer. You see how your body reacts to it, okay? Start making it a little rarer. You're like, okay, I'm starting to feel good. Like, I might be able to do this. And then you go to a local butcher. You get your grass-fed raw beef, and you're like, okay, I'm going to do it blue rare, okay? And then you do it blue rare. And then, so not fully raw yet. And then you see how it goes. And if it goes well, then you could try raw, okay? Ease your way into it. Don't go right into it, okay? Like I said, ease your way into everything, okay? Like anything else. Sorry, no, you're good. Watching this for motivation, hell yeah. How are you? Doing good. So listen, what you say about Leon Edwards' physique? Leon Edwards has one of the best physiques I've ever seen in my entire life. Literally, like, perfect. Like, perfect body, perfect symmetry. Like, literally one of the best physiques I've ever seen in my life. Like, and I know a lot of people, they don't like because he's like, maybe a little skinnier, but I think his physique is phenomenal, is the perfect physique. Skinny waist, still got nice chest and quad, like, it's perfect. Perfect. What are your thoughts about these alpha males like Andrew Tate and Justin Waller? I think if you use their motivation for a logical reasoning on becoming the best version of yourself, it could really be beneficial. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people like to take one person and be like, well, because they said this one thing, I'm not going to listen to anything they said. Or they like to do the complete opposite and be like, oh my gosh, I like a lot of the things they say. So now every single thing that they say is right. Instead of being like logical and being like, okay, these people say this thing. These people say this thing. I like what this person says about this thing, so I'm going to take it and use it to my advantage because I do think that's correct. But I'm not going to take everything because I don't like everything that person says. So I think if you look at Tate and you're like, okay, I like that he says getting rich and strong is very important. I like that he says not being weak and being mentally disciplined and become the best version of yourself and working harder is never not going to help. I like all those things that he said. So I'm going to make sure I apply that into my mindset because I've never heard that, and that is one of the most logical reasonings to become the best version of yourself. That's why I like what he says because, like, it's become the most logical reason to become the best version of yourself. But then, when it comes to other things that he says that really just only says just to get viral, and it's like, I get it. It's part of what you need to do to get viral is get clips, is, say things that are out of pocket. And, obviously I don't agree with all of them, so I'm just like, okay, I'm not going to use that part of it. That side of it is just not what I agree with. And then just simple as that, I'm going to only use the part that I agree with. You know what I mean? And some people, the issue is they're like, nope, everything he says now is correct. Or they're like, every single thing he says is wrong. It's like, how about you just go with both? Like, okay, some of these things I like, and so I'm going to use those things to my advantage, and then the rest I'm not. That's what I'm saying. So you guys, like, where all your opinions come from? They come from 20 different people, combined all together. You know what I mean? That's the thing. It literally comes from so many different people, okay? That's the thing. If I were to give you a breakdown of everyone that you think you should be listening to, then it would be like a list of 20 different people. You know what I mean? Because that's how I think. I take a little bit from everyone and then make it my own. You know what I mean? Because you want to be unique. You don't want to be like someone else. Bro, these religious people all the time, and they'll become Christian. And when I'm not trying to be that religious dude, but just saying in Islam, he said, when you know you're about to die, how do 21? Can't become a Muslim. Your doors are closed. It's also atheist, but may convert into Muslim because it's kind of hard. Makes sense. Gotcha. I have Xbox. Like I said, don't follow religion. Oh, yeah, hell yeah, brother. Roommate, he's in his room. Can reduce upper eyelid exposure. So like this, like you want to make it higher. If that's what you're asking to do, you need to do like face exercises where you're like constantly like. Another thing too is you could do like this. And that'll get your occulars or whatever that muscle in your eyes to get them stronger. Y'all could look at my eyes; they were definitely lazier, and you know they get lazy sometimes. You know, especially when I'm doing these streams for a little bit. When I'm wired up, they're definitely a lot sharper. So a good way to do that is just stare. You know, just start staring, like staring at the mirror, just getting your face more intense. Okay, like you guys have to understand, like the things that your face does will literally like form. That's why people get mad. They start forming a frown face, or people that smile, they're always forming a smile face. Like you have to understand, your face will form into whatever you make it, whatever facial expressions you're doing. So if you're constantly staring, you're constantly like intense and wired up, your face is gonna turn into that. And that sounds a little weird and biohacky pseudoscience, but it is what it is. You cuss. Like I said, this is a raw, unfiltered stream. If I need to cuss, I will, but I don't do it unless it makes sense to do in the intensity of what I'm talking about. I mean, for me, how much? I don't know how much the chain costs, to be honest. Jesus. Okay. Let's yeah. You got a little dead skin on my eyelid? Yeah. Definitely somewhere. I don't know where, but definitely somewhere. Ain't something to be fun off over a shitty joke, though. What is hanging on your eyelid? Is there something hanging on my eyelid? Oh, there is. Yeah, that was the dead skin. Okay, there we go. Tom Cruise has one of the best eye ears. Okay. What up, everyone hopping in? What up? Looks like you're sweating. I am a little hot, for sure. Faux show. It's definitely hot. It's Arizona, guys. It's hot here. You know what I mean? But we're talking about how to become the best version of yourself, mentally, physically, spiritually. Not only that, but also how to become less weak-minded. Just become, bro. You're stream demon. See you on live every time. Yeah, I know, brother. Hell yeah. We're trying to get 2,000 subs today. Also trying to help y'all out with becoming less weak as a man or as a person in general. Should I get rhinoplasty? My nose ain't straight from side profile. I don't know, bro. Honestly, sometimes the surgeries be like, nah, I'm definitely feeling warm right now. Guys, you have to understand, it's 1 o'clock in Arizona, it's June 1st, it's hot here. Like, it is what it is. Even though it's not that sunny out, it's still sunny enough. But yeah, don't focus on the surgery unless you've like done extreme research and you fully understand that you won't affect your life that much. And it'll only benefit your life. Like, I think surgery's fine. I'm not against it, but you should be doing every single thing in your power besides the surgery to fix whatever the thing is. So like some people get jaw surgery, but they've never actually done jaw exercises. It's like, if you guys can see my jaw, it was really not good. I did a lot of exercises to get it stronger. You know what I mean? And that's what I did. But there's some people that are like, nope, screw that. I'm just going to do surgery. And it's like, well, you guys can do that. But at the end of the day, there is ways to naturally get yourself better looking without surgery. So I would say surgery is good when you've tried everything. When you've literally, and not just like actually tried everything and nothing works, then surgery is a good thing, I would say. Thoughts on creatine? Creatine is great, guys. You guys should all be consuming at least 5 grams of creatine a day. And you guys should be getting it in foods. That's the best bioavailable creatine. I eat 2 pounds of red meat a day. So for me, I'm always getting in my creatine because I eat the red meat. But I know y'all don't eat as much red meat as me. So y'all have to actually get the powdered form to make sure that you're getting in your recommended amount of doses. So yes, take creatine. Yes, it's good for you. One of the most studied things of all time. Make sure you're getting some good stuff, not BS creatine. Make sure you're getting it from a good source, and you should be good. Sweet home Arizona, hell yeah, Arizona. How much money you have in your bank account, brother? That's a question I'll pass on for right now. Which phone number? Another question I'll pass on. Yep. I don't know why we got in this. We got to 2K today. Hell yeah. Love it. I do work out at my school. I use treadmill, then I do the weights, and then I have bunch of punching bag with boxing gloves. Good stuff. Ever deadlifted? Just a random cringe question. That's not random cringe. That's cool. And yes, I have deadlifted because they're awesome to do. Great for building testosterone. Great for full body movements. Great for, especially outside in the sun, you could really trigger some good hormones there. So yeah, deadlifting's cool. Will you ever get braids? Nope. Never. I've never thought about it. And but the fact that you're the first person to ever bring it up makes me think, wow, I'm happy I never thought about that, because the odds of me getting braids are 0 to 0. City live, yeah, Phoenix. I'm in Phoenix. Yo, you got Xbox? Yes, I do. I do have an Xbox. What up? I've got defected in my knees. It's inward, got straight, skinny. Jesus, what is going on? What is even happening? Can I get your username? I'll add you. Username for what? I got defected on my knees and we're not straight. I'm skinny short. Sometimes I think I always get the worst while other guys have almost got everything. Like I said, brother, you have to just continue to do what you gotta do. Like the truth is, you being skinnier or shorter than everyone else won't make a difference on you still having to get as strong as possible, getting as muscular as possible, making as much money as possible, and becoming the best version of yourself. It's the same game, okay? There's tons of tall, muscular guys out there that have zero, hardcore grind because they've never experienced hardship. Things have necessarily come easy in their life. And because of that, then they have no mental resilience. I see it all the time. I see dudes all the time that are like, they never went through anything, so they look okay because of genetics. But I talk to them, and then I realize within a second, I'm like, bro, well, your brain does not match your body, and you guys have to understand that catches up. Sooner or later, that's gonna catch up, and their brain will not match their body. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Is that if you believe that your mindset is stronger than what you've been doing, then get your brain and your body to match your brain, because your brain's clearly telling you something. So keep that in mind. How you doing today? I'm doing good. How much subs are we on? Let me look. I haven't checked. 1,910. So we're about 90 away. Just good stuff. 79. I play at 8th place. Bro, Doze. No one play World War II. What up? What's good, everyone hopping in? It's interesting some of the people I attract in these streams. Like, because my main target audience is literally men in their 20s trying to increase their testosterone naturally. Men that are lifting weights, trying to become, less weak version of themselves, trying to become strong. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like, those are the people that I'm trying to help out. So when I have people come in that are just complete opposite of what the vibe is, I'm just like, how did this even hit you? Like, these videos are supposed to hit like dudes that are trying to lift weights, become the best version of themselves. And, just pursue your goals, like become less weak. Every single person watching this after this stream should say, I am going to become less weak. I'm going to make less weak moves. I'm going to become stronger mentally and physically. I'm going to stop lying to myself. I'm going to stop letting the weakness creep in. We know when we're being weak, okay? We know when we're indulging in the video games that we're not supposed to. We know when we're eating the bad food we're not supposed to. We know when we're scrolling when we're not supposed to. We know when we're doing all these things that we're not supposed to do, but we still do them, okay? That's weakness, okay? Yeah, guys have to understand something scary, okay? We all try to act like we don't know these answers to life, but we actually do. You want to know something funny? You can probably picture a time that you did something that you knew you weren't supposed to do, like eating, bad food, like you ate it. Like, you knew you weren't supposed to eat the ice cream. You knew it wouldn't help with your goals, and you still ate it, okay? That's a scary thing. Knowing that you could do something and you're not doing it, that shows that, look, I know the information, and I'm so mentally weak that even if I have the information, I'm still unable to do it because of my mental weakness, which is extremely sad. It's extremely sad. Like I said, there are some people that are just purely misinformed, and then they go the vegan route, which at least helps them lose some weight and get healthier because the American standard diet is so bad. But if you guys can actually put yourself in the trial error method zone and actually use what I've been talking to you guys about, things will become so much easier. June 6th or June 7th will be its last go. If you don't know what is it's Celebration Muslim, yeah. Gotcha. We don't know that. Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, we're constantly trying to become less weak as people. Okay? Less weak mentally and physically and spiritually. And some of y'all don't understand, like, if you are weak right now or you feel weak, you're in an easier position than the people that are lying to themselves saying they're not weak, saying that everything else is everyone else's fault. Like, I'm not weak. It's everyone else's fault. You know what I mean? It's not my fault. That's weakness. Most people that are weak actually don't realize they're weak. They think that they're just unlucky and a victim. That's what I'm saying. A lot of weak people think that they're unlucky victims. You know what I mean? And the second they change it and they're like, no, I'm lucky. I'm not the victim. Even if there are bad things that happen in my life, it's a blessing because I can use them as fuel to become the best version of myself. This is the issue, is a lot of you guys look at the bad things that happen in your life and you go, wow, I feel bad for myself. Instead of looking at the bad things in my life and going, thank God gave me these bad things in my life so I could see what I never want to have. Why not that? Seriously, why not that perspective? Do you use sea salt spray from Simpletics? I use sea salt spray, my own natural sea salt spray. So I basically get a sprayer from Home Depot, like the most intense one, and then I put water in it and sea salt and then spray it. So, yeah, it's definitely good it's healthy for your hair, healthy for just you in general. It's also cheap because you're not buying any expensive thing, and you get way more because you get to fill it up on your own. Bro, just rock the buzz. Just rock the buzz, dude. Just do it. You guys shouldn't be worried about what your hair looks like. You should be worried about how strong you are. That's another thing too, guys. Like, I know y'all be like, oh, what's good with your hair? What's good with your hair? Like, I care about my hair a little bit, but the truth is, y'all should not, like, if, like, I noticed that there's dudes out here that be, like, concerned, like, touching their hair, like, is their hair gonna look good? And they, like, can't even do 10 push-ups. Like, bro, like, if you can't do 10 push-ups, you should not be concerned about what your hair looks like at all. I'm just keeping it real with you. Anyone know the reality behind that? I'm just asking. Buzz during wrestling season? Yeah, good shit. Bro, the buzz cut works. You just gotta rock it. You just gotta own it. That's the thing. I would never do the buzz cut because I would never own that. But if you have it, I mean, you might as well just own it now, right? Right? Might as well just say, okay, I got this buzz cut. My barber didn't listen to me, right? It is what it is. Let me just own it now. Let me just, use it. Will you ever move to LA, bro? The odds of me moving to LA, like moving there to live there is probably like less than 2%. Because you have to understand something, okay? One, okay, you have to understand. Even if LA is a good place to make connections, even if it's a good place to, grow, meet people, blah, 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 I genuinely don't like the average person that lives there. Not, not like, oh, like, I not like, oh, there's some people that really suck. Like, no, like, I'm genuinely telling you, I don't like the average person. Like, the average person that chooses to live there, I don't like. And I think that's a big difference, makes a big difference when you're always walking around your city and you don't like the people that you're surrounded by. You bought the jawline chew thing you showed us last week, how often chew? Okay. So I do it once every day, and I always do it during my oral care or like brushing teeth or morning routine or whenever you're cleaning yourself. That's when you want to do it because it's so easy to do. You just put it in and then you just start getting to work. You can clean, whatever you could, but I would recommend doing it once a day. But if you're like, hey, I'm doing this once a day, 15 minutes every day, once a day, and also do it slow and controlled. Don't just go, like, slow and controlled, and do it every day, every day. But also, if you're like, I could do it more, then you could do it like 3 times a day, low key. There's no rules to it. You just have to make sure that you're being smart with it, not going crazy too hard in the beginning, and breathing through your nose, and yeah. I can do a 5-minute play. Good stuff. Soon will be 10 minutes. Yeah, I love that. They're too woke. Yeah, that's one issue. Another issue too, though, is the issue with the overall mindset there, because you have to understand something, that if one person acts a certain way of like ghosting or being a little shallow or cold, right, that like enforces it in the city. So that's the thing, is that people say it's a soulless city because everyone there is kind of looking for just more attention, more likes, more whatever. So it's definitely not a good place, if you're looking for realness. Okay, there's many fake people there. Like I said, when I first went to California, I was very excited to go to California. Just so you guys know, when I first went to California, I was like, oh my God, I've always wanted to go here. This place looks so sick, blah, 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 all that. I went there and I was like, nah. Here's the issue. There is so many people there that are so fake and not. I don't feel like I'm talking to real human beings. I feel like I'm talking to people that have hidden intentions in mind, are basically lying to your face. It's just a really weird place. Like, you guys kind of have to go there to experience, like, and I'm not just talking, like, I'm talking about like restaurant waiters, like store workers, like the average civilian. I'm just like, you talk, the way that you talk is so fake, and I don't feel real here. I don't feel like real, genuine, like, I don't know. I don't feel real. It feels fake. It feels like a fake place with fake people that are only looking for certain things to gain for themselves. And I'm not saying that Miami isn't like that as well, but the truth is, it's just so much of a different kind of lifestyle there, of just, the idea that it's better to lie to someone to not hurt their feelings than to be truthful and be a little bit, harsh. Like, they can't do that. They'd much rather, these LA people would much rather not say anything to your face, okay? Leave you in the dust in whatever situation, leave you hanging, and then, go talk about whatever it is, like, after. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a very different situation, and you won't know unless you meet the people. And another thing, too, is I go to Arizona State, so there's a lot of people from California. It is very easy to see someone that used to live in California, or in the West Coast in general. It is a very different vibe of a lot more weak-minded people, but not only weak-minded, also just not real. Like, they're not real. they're not real human beings. And the issue is when you have a bunch of people that aren't real human beings, it creates more non-real human beings, okay? So that's the issue. Is all those people in LA when they first started, all the movies come out, all the actors came out, all the, materialistic stuff came out, okay? All those people started creating a vibe of that. That's what we do in LA, okay? We're not real, okay? We're fake, okay? That's what we do. And then every single person that, goes there is just like, oh my God, that's the vibe. That's the vibe there. And I'm talking about LA. I'm not talking about California, okay? California is one of the biggest states of all time. There's people in North California that definitely don't think, and they think people in LA are psychopaths. There's people in San Diego that are like, I would never go to LA. Why would you ever go to LA? Are you dumb? Like, there's a lot of California people that hate LA, and you guys have to understand this. But LA, in my opinion, is one of the most overrated places. It's basically a place to say, hey, the world's weird, cruel, fake, and only rich people really get a good experience in here. And even then, everyone's still fighting for something that really means nothing. And yeah, it's not a vibe for me at all. So could I possibly see myself living there for a little bit? Of course, there's tons of people there, tons of connections. Could I see myself moving there? That's tough. That's very, very tough. Very, very tough for me to see myself moving to a place like that. Because the odds are I would need to have such a good, solid friend group of people that aren't indulged with everything. But the odds of that at a place like that is low. That's why Austin, Texas is super cool, because it's still modern. It still has a lot of young people, but they're way, way, way more focused on getting away from the whole LA vibe. That's why a lot of people move from LA to Austin. That's what happened. Okay? Or Miami, you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, you gotta keep that in mind. Okay. Sorry. Maybe a plank 5 minutes. I can do 40 push-ups without stopping at 14. Good stuff. Try hard gum. It really helps. Yep. Yes, gum definitely helps too. Some docs say mewing don't work. Some say it does. I'm confused. Okay, your doctor doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. Okay, mewing definitely works 1 trillion gazillion %. You guys can see results. You guys can see my face as 2 years ago, and you can see how much better it looks now. So it's simple facts like that. But understand something. Your doctor has been taught the wrong thing the entire time, okay? You guys have to understand this. If you live in the USA, you guys have to understand that you guys as doctors are not being taught the right things, okay? So they may think that they're giving you good information. I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm saying their brains are medicine over everything, not natural, holistic ways of helping. So here's the thing. I'm living proof about the mewing working, okay? I use it. I have better jawline, I grew up with a weak jawline. Now my jawline's better. Living proof. Don't need a doctor to tell you that they're wrong. They're obviously wrong because, and I'm not saying the doctor's lying to you. I'm saying the doctor is uneducated. Because the doctor met me and saw my transformation. He'd be like, well, I guess I can't say that anymore. So the doctors that are saying it works are correct. Doctors that are saying it's wrong are stupid. Don't listen to them. And, make sure that, because I notice a lot of doctors don't like the natural holistic health coming in because it takes away money from them. So they'll tell them things like, oh yeah, the blue light blockers actually don't work, even though you literally get better sleep and you feel better at night when you do it. Like, I don't even care about the studies. I literally feel better at night when I put them on. My eyes feel better. My eyes feel like I could sleep more. Like, I don't give a fuck about your studies. It works. It makes me feel better. That's the only study I fucking need. So yeah, and when you go off the studies that doctors do that clearly have been paid by people to make more money, that's when studies become bullshit, okay? And also, if you're really a study person, study, you would know that so many studies come out that all give completely different results, okay? So if you're really a big study person, you would know that studies don't match most of the time, and studies change, and studies usually get paid off, and usually there's weird controlled environment things that happen, okay? So if you're a really big studies person and like, oh my God, well, what do the studies say? What do the studies say? You would know that, wow, there's a lot of bullshit out here. There's a lot of studies that don't fucking add up at all. So yeah, anybody that's like, well, I know I only go off of studies, so that's why I think that. I'm like, well, if you really only went off of studies, you'd know that many things don't add up. So yeah. Sorry, that didn't really have much to do with what we were talking about at all. You look brilliant. Well done for transformation and because you gained a new sub. Oh, thank you, brother. Love that. Does anyone? Yep. Me got abs. Yes. Yep. New York overrated. Here's the thing. New York's overrated ever since COVID, but I would say it's still better because at least it's fast. At least it's fast moving. At least the people there are going fast and they're not slow. That is the one thing I kind of hate about the West is it's so slow that, oh God, it's just like, oh, everyone's just moving slow. I can't have it. I need speed. I need fast. I need go. You know what I mean? And that's why I kind of like New York City, but also I see why it's overrated just because after COVID, it's definitely changed. So, do you have a earring right in here? Do you have earring? No, I don't. I literally just have a cut in my ear. I know it looks like an earring. It's just a cut. Uh, so hold on. Study crash out. Yep. Uh, literally, no. Studies will make. I could go off. I could literally go on a freaking hour rant, tangent, emotional driven talk and motivational speech about how studies and people talking about studies is one of the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. Because if you actually cared about studies and actually read a bunch of studies, you'd know that a lot of studies don't add up. Yes, some studies do add up, but a lot of studies also don't. And you're like, wait a second, this person did this study and got completely different results. So what do you mean study, study, study? Two different things. Dr. Mew invented mewing, and nowadays his license got revoked because of it. Exactly, because they don't want people to know that. Here's the thing, and now you can call me a conspiracy theorist, and you could say this is a little crazy and over the top, and it's definitely a theory of mine. I don't fully believe this. Here's what I think happened. So I think they saw this guy, Dr. Mew, talking about breathing through your nose, getting better mental cognitive function because you're getting more oxygen through your body, so your brain's actually working 25% better. And they didn't want that for humans. They wanted us to be slow mouth breathers that had plaque in our brains and didn't really, understand, so we couldn't revolt against them, or stop us from being controlled. So they actually revoked all of this stuff because they were like, you are making people think and making people healthier and stronger. And if they're healthy and strong, then they could possibly realize that they're being controlled, and we can't have that. So we're going to revoke all your stuff, make you sound stupid, so then no one could have sharp jaw lines. Everyone could be a mouth breather, and everyone's mouths and faces could be messed up. Now, I'm not saying that's fully what happened, but I'm saying that there's a big part of me that genuinely believes that they discredit a lot of these doctors to keep people unhealthy and keep people stuck and controlled. Because you don't know how they killed all those, like that guy that said, oh, I found all the herbs that cures all cancers, and then he got killed or committed suicide, even though he was clearly killed by the government because they didn't want that stuff coming out. Because the odds that the government couldn't have cancer patients being paying for it and they could just have a secret herb that could just help it. No, we're not going to get money. We are not going to get money if we don't have people getting cancer. We need people to have cancer. That's how I genuinely think they think. Like, I know you guys are like, bro, come on, that's too much. But seriously, I'm not saying the actual doctor you're talking to yourself, but I'm saying the people above the main thing that think that they're doing it for good of human population, they definitely think it. And the way that they justify it in their life is they're like, well, but we need control, because if we don't have control, then we can't let the humans have control. So we need control. So that's how they justify it. They're like, no, but we need to control these people, because if we don't, then everything's going to go to shit. So it's okay to make them a little slower, make them a little dumber, and make them just not really know that they're being controlled, because we need to control them because they can't control themselves. They justify it in their own brain, literally. That's what I'm saying. And you guys have to understand, I'm mainly talking about the USA when I talk about this stuff, because I don't really know what's going on in these other countries. I know that it's like, it's not great, but when it just comes to purely health type stuff, it is 1000%. I mean, we're the healthiest we are the most unhealthy, fattest, laziest population ever to exist. We have people that are like, oh my gosh, like, I don't have any energy, like, I'm tired, and I'm just like, bro, get some energy. You guys wonder why I have so much energy, because so many people don't. Like, so many people don't have energy. Like, I need the energy because you guys take away all my energy. I walk around and everyone's so tired. You know what I mean? I'm just like, what? I can't have that. I gotta go. We gotta go, 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 go. We gotta win, 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 win. Everyone's so slow. So that's why I have energy. I counteract it. It's like a battle. It's like a war. The war is slow. People being slow, that's my war. And I'm constantly fighting it by trying to be faster and more intense. Because if not, then I'm slow, and then I'm losing, and I'm weak. You know what I mean? Slowness means weakness. And weakness means not growing. And not growing means sedentary lifestyle of no good experiences for me. That's how I think of it. So I have to be fast. I have to be intense, because if not, then it is what it is. Okay, let's read this. I'm so delayed right now. Okay. I think I came into this the wrong time. Have you ever broken a window? Yes. What up? Was good, everyone? What up, RWS? Agree with you. Thank you, brother. Guys, pizza service. Oh, thank you. But still, I believe USA has most advanced healthcare in the world. Most countries don't have Oh, you know what? I would agree with you. USA has the most advanced healthcare in the world. However, They know that they have the most advanced healthcare in the world, but they still like to make lies and give a bunch of people pharmaceuticals and say all these different lies to make them feel better. So, yes, we are the most advanced and we have the most information, but we don't use it to our advantage. Instead, we like to lie and trick people. So it almost makes it more sad. It's like, wow, like you guys could be doing the right thing and you're choosing not to make more money, keep people controlled, sad, slow. So then, because you guys can't give other humans control, like that's how they justify it, okay? They're like, no, because we can't give them control. We need to be in control because we actually know what we're doing. So if we make them a little bit slower and a little bit dumber, that's okay because we know what we're doing. They justify it, okay? They think what they're doing is okay. That's the thing. I'm not saying that they're like, oh my God, we're so bad people and we know that we're bad, like blah, 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 ha, ha, ha. No. These are people that have genuinely so psychopath, higher rich up people convince themselves that what they're doing for a human population is good by making us slower and more controlled because then we won't revolt because then we will have control. And if we have control, then things will go bad because they need control because if not, then things will go bad. That's their mindset. That's how they justify it. They're like, nope, we need to make you guys slow and dumb because if not, things will go wrong. And you guys don't know yet. So we're just going to tell you. That's how they think. And if you let them do that, then that's what's going to happen, Pre-med US does not have technological problem. It is indeed advanced, but it is expensive. Only access to the rich. People don't have energy. Try to go to sleep earlier. UK is free healthcare. Yeah. Like I said, guys, for me personally, you guys wouldn't really need too much medical healthcare if your diet was locked in and your lifestyle was locked in. That's the truth, okay? Most people don't need to go to a doctor twice a year, okay? Unless you have some serious chronic illness, there's really no reason to because you should be a healthy human being, okay? And I know it's understandable for checkups and blah, 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 but the truth is the only reason you're doing a checkup is because something's not wrong. And the reason something's not wrong is because you've done something completely out of your nature, okay? Because you guys don't understand something. Like for a human to not be healthy, you need to go out of your nature to do that, okay? It is very, 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 very hard for a human in a tribe to be unhealthy, to be fat and sick and lazy and unhealthy, okay? It's impossible. Fat people don't exist in tribes. You have to understand that. And just when we talk about USA Healthcare, the idea that USA Health, like we know what we're doing about health, the idea that the average American is good at health or is a healthy person, we all know this is a lie. We all know we're the most obese, fattest population of all time, and we know why this is happening, okay? We know that there are people behind it trying to cause it, trying to make it normal, trying to make it where we're slow, controlled, and not revolting. That's how it is. But don't you think healthcare is expensive because doctors are paid much better than entire world? Yes, 1,000% expensive. UK doesn't have free healthcare. They charge heavy taxes, but it's a broken system. Yep. Broke my right femur. Had to sit at home for a year. I'm going to 2 p.m. for a year. No healthcare is free, but it can be universal one. Yeah. But here's the thing, guys. And my whole thing, I'm not saying avoid doctors. I'm not saying no doctor. Like you break your leg, no doctor. You get a concussion, no doctor. I'm not saying that. Okay. I'm saying that the idea that you have depression symptoms or anxiety symptoms or you're overweight and they tell you they pitch to you taking pharmaceutical drugs or avoiding red meat or any of these things, if they're pitching that to you or eating more vegetables and cutting out the meat, if they're telling you to do those things, that's when I'm bothered. That's when I'm like, this is wrong. They're making you less healthy, and it is scary that this person that we're all convinced is supposed to help us is basically not only not helping us, but hurting us. So yeah, and it is what it is. What else we got? But yeah, dude, I'll go off about the healthcare system, how bad it is, how doctors have been basically lied to. Like, I'm not saying the doctors are lying to you. I'm saying the doctors have been lied to themselves, and they think they're giving you good information. I am that deep into it. Like, I genuinely don't think doctors are bad people. I think they've been so misinformed, which actually makes it more sad. What up? Are you taller than Jack Dems? I don't even know what that is. Let me look up. Yes, I am. Okay. Clark, no, it's because of insurance companies. If we don't pay anything to docs, you still have to pay 90% of the bill. These guys deserve the pay after doing school for decades. Like I said, uh, definitely deserve pay, 1000%. But I don't think it's because of the school. I think it's because they're saving lives. Because I think some doctors do genuinely save lives, especially neurosurgeons and people that are helping breaking broken legs and stuff like that. But when it comes to the doctor that's purely just pitching that you just take pharmaceutical drugs, I don't think those doctors are saving lives. I don't. And I think that just because they have decades of school doesn't mean that they deserve to be paid. I think they deserve to be paid because they're helping people. That is my 1,000,000,000,000% opinion, and I will never not agree with that. 1,000%. Sorry. I'll tell you 6-2. I bet Jake Paul will dig up Muhammad Ali, the boxer, and fight him. Oh, man. So yeah, that's what we're talking about right now, is how to become less weak. And I know we kind of got into the doctor talk somehow, which happens all the time in these, because I could go off hours about how messed up the medical system is. But it goes hand in hand with this ability to be weak, because at the end of the day, these pharmaceutical drugs, 1,000,000,000,000% make us more weak. They give us less energy, less weak, or more weak. You're more weak with the less energy you have, because you don't have that energy. You don't have the energy to push, okay? So it gets very, very tricky, And I am the one that's like, bro, I'm just trying to figure this stuff out, okay? I'm not one that's like, oh, this is the way. I'm like, what is the way? Like, this is clearly not, okay? I'm trying this out, and it's definitely working for me, but I'm sure there's better ways that I still haven't found out yet, and I'm really ready to listen and figure it out, okay? That's what I'm saying. Like, you have to, I don't have all the answers. So I'm trying to figure this out, but I'm still going to go off of what I see. And what I see is very, very unhealthy people in the USA telling me that I should be listening to my doctor. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, but you're unhealthy. I can't really take your advice about health. It sucks, but it is what it is. And if you guys disagree with that, then trust me, these streams are only going to get worse. But that's how I feel. I feel like any person that gives you advice, you have to look at the person and be like, do I want your lifestyle? If it's yes, then yes. So like I said, if some guy that's really, really, tan, jacked, looks like naturally, muscular, not roided up, gives me advice about like, hey man, I think you should be doing this, this, and that, I take it a lot more serious than someone that's 300 pounds saying, hey man, I think you should do this and that. Hey man, I think you should chill out with the working out. I think it's a little too much. I think you're overdoing it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, you're 300 pounds. Why the fuck would I ever take your advice about how to get healthy? Seriously, in what world? Or just in life experience in general. Like, because they might not even be concerned about health. It's like, okay, because people love to give advice. No matter how actually successful they are in life, they still feel like their advice is worth it, which is very interesting. And I always like to hear out everyone, because I like to hear, here's the thing, guys. You have to understand, when someone's about to give me advice, I want to hear it so bad, no matter how stupid or dumb I think they look, because I want to hear, okay, how far has this advice taken your life so bad? So sometimes when someone I know is about to give me bad advice, or is about to give me something that I know I'm not going to agree with because they already look the way they do, I want to see how far it goes, just to be like, okay, whatever advice you say, I'm going to make sure to do the opposite of that so I don't end up like you. So if some 300-pound guy were about to be like, hey man, can I give you advice about, like your training and stuff? I'd be like, sure. I wouldn't be like, no, you don't know anything. I'd be like, sure, I would love to hear your advice so I can know what not to do. And then he'll be like, hey, man, I just think you're going too hard. Like, I think, life's more important than just training for weights. And I just think, like, you just need to chill out a little bit. Then I'd be like, okay, awesome. I will make sure to never listen to anything that you ever do, because that mindset is exactly why you're 300 pounds. Thank you for telling me that. That's how I think about that. That is exactly how I think about that. I'm like, thank you for telling me that. I will never listen to you because you look like that. And so now you just told me exactly how to get to your spot. So I'll make sure to never do that. Thank you. That's how I look at it. I'm like, nope, you are completely wrong. You couldn't be more wrong, but I'm so happy I heard you out. So now I know exactly what not to do. That's my mindset. That is my mindset. I will listen to every single person's opinion, because I need to know every like, that's what I eavesdrop on random people's conversations, just to know how other humans think. Because sometimes, if you get in conversations with people, there's already like, they already know who you are. They already know that they don't want to like mess with opinions or stuff. That's why I like listening to like eavesdropping, so I learn how humans talk. Because at the end of the day, like, You know what I mean? Like, I want to hear the free talking. I want to hear, like, how they actually talk. Like, and I know you guys do the same thing, and just so you know, it's completely okay. It doesn't make you, like, especially if you're already on your grind and you purely just say, like, I'm just only doing this because I want to learn about human psychology. It's actually very, very, very smart to eavesdrop on people's conversations. Obviously, don't be a dumbass. Don't go on private conversations. But if you're at a restaurant, if you're in a public space, and people are being loud in a conversation, you happen to hear it, there's no reason not follow along, especially if you can learn something about human psychology. Okay? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, okay? Like I literally eavesdrop on humans just to learn about how they think. Like, if I, like, and I know you guys may think this is crazy, but, like, say, you know, some overweight couple, right, is at a restaurant, and they are loudly talking about their life, okay? And I'm just sitting there, you know, eating whatever. And I can hear what they're saying, right? I can hear what they're saying. I'm not, like, it's background noise. I will, and I'm not doing anything, right? I'm just sitting there, you know, waiting for my check or whatever. The people are taking 20 minutes to get my stuff or whatever. I will sit there and listen to how they talk about life, how they talk about things, how they see the world, just to be like, okay, this is that perspective. Because if not, like, when am I ever going to hear that? Like, I'll never have a conversation with these people. But if I were to have a conversation, they already know that I'm a health, you know, trainer. I'm already, so they're already going in with that mindset. They won't be giving their full opinions about the situation. That's why I like to be like, no, I want to know your full opinion. I don't want you to compromise for me or say, like, oh, no, he's very into health, so don't give your opinions because he's like, no, I want to hear your opinion. I want to know. Like, I actually want to know, so I know what it looks like. What does it look like from the other side? Okay? I'm very open-minded about that stuff. I always want to learn. I'm a sponge. I'm trying to absorb as much information as possible, okay? Whether it's good or bad, or I genuinely think a 300-pound person telling me that I'm not training, or I'm training too hard and I should chill out with it. I think that's valuable because I'm like, okay, I'll never do that. I'll never be that, because that is exactly why you're 300 pounds, because you have that mindset. Thank you. So you guys have to look at it that way. You guys have to. So that didn't really add up too much with what we were talking about, but I don't know. We just got into it. How long should I be working out for a 12-year-old? Brother, 45 minutes to an hour, okay? And if you're training really hard, it should not be longer than 45 minutes. But if you're not training that hard, it should be like an hour or so. What up? You have, no, I'm single. I can help y'all out with girls and stuff like that, but that'll be a separate stream. We don't want to switch topics here. We're still just talking about weakness and all that. What up, everyone hopping in? Yeah, so we're just talking about how to become less weak as a human being. Simple as that. And, you know, a big part of that, again, what we were talking about is advice, and, like, getting advice from people, giving advice to people, how to take advice, how to look at people and analyze advice the correct way. And this goes deep as your parents, okay? I swear to God, and this is something you guys have to understand about your parents as soon as possible. If your parents have not made a lot of money, okay, have not gone from being really, really poor to really, really rich, and they're trying to tell you how to make money, I'm just letting you know they're not the best people to tell you, because they don't know how. They might be telling you save, save, save. It's like, wait, mom, have you ever made a lot of money before? Do you know what making a lot of money actually means or entails? You know what I mean? So you guys have to understand that. Even if it's your friends or family or people that you genuinely respect, or even if they've given you good advice on other things, okay? You have to understand that if they're giving you advice on a certain topic that they're not successful in, why would you take their advice? Just, and I get it, even if it's like your parent and it's like, but it's my mom saying that. Like, I don't know. Like, bro, if you're looking to make a bunch of money and your mom is trying to tell you how to make money, but she's never made money, stop listening to her. If you're trying to get as strong as possible, as jacked as possible, and as least weak-minded as possible, and your parent is telling you, hey, you shouldn't be doing this, this is too much, and they're not a strong-minded person that's, you know, super in physical shape, don't listen to them. I don't care if it's your parent. I don't care if it's your friend. If they don't have, like, the thing that you want and they're giving you advice, don't take their advice. It's as simple as that. And I know some people are like, you know, like, yeah, but it's my parent, it's my friend, like, I respect them, they see me all the time. I'm like, look, here's the thing. You have to understand that this is your life and you got to do what you want, okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, if someone is genuinely telling you, like, giving you advice about something and you know that they're wrong because their lifestyle obviously shows it, the best thing to do is prove to that person that they're wrong. Okay, prove that they don't know what they're talking about. Prove, and not in a mean way, in a I'm teaching you because I don't want you to think that I'm just not taking your advice because there's a reason towards this. You know what I mean? I'm not taking your advice just because I don't like you. I'm not taking your advice because I don't agree with what you're saying because you haven't showed the result for it yet. And you know what? If you actually prove it to them, there's a good chance that they actually respect you as a family member or friend. They're actually a good family member or friend. What they'll actually do is they'll be like, you know what? I was wrong about this. Or I looked at it a little too far. I was a little too closed-minded, and I'm willing to actually open my mind and learn some stuff about what you're doing because clearly, you were talking about it before and now you're right about it. So obviously, you have something good to say. So, they're going to start taking your advice more. But you have to be able to establish that dynamic. You know what I mean? So, yes. And you guys have to understand, people are constantly going to try to give you advice, no matter what. If you're if you are in any growth state at all, people are constantly going to look at you and try to give you advice, okay? And that you guys have to be careful on who you navigate with, the advice is, okay? Because for me personally, I used to take it offensively, like in the gym. Like, picture it this way. Say someone in the gym, right, would, like, try to give me advice. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, bro, I'm, like, clearly bigger and stronger than you. Why are you trying to give me advice in the gym? That's how I used to think before. I used to think that. I used to think, I used to think, like, no, you can't be giving me advice. Like, you're not to my level yet. That's how I used to think. I swear to God, some guy could literally be 500 pounds, walk into the gym and say, hey, brother, can I give you some advice on lifting? And I would say, hell yeah, I would love to hear it. I would absolutely love to hear it. Some of the most skinny, weakest guy could walk in the gym and be like, bro, your training's wrong. Let me help you out, man. And I'd be like, okay, what do I got to do? I would be so open-minded to what they're saying. Because right then and there, right when I heard what they're saying, I'm going, okay, that's why you're like that. That's why you have that mindset. That's why. Cool. Never have that. I'll never have that. I'll never have what you have. Thanks for the advice. They are giving you advice. The advice is don't take their advice. That's the advice. Don't take their advice. Okay. What up? Is corn addiction fine or is it actually ruins you? Like, I just feel, fine, not drained. It definitely can ruin you, 1000%, especially if you're not talking to women constantly and you're just in a constant state of lust. It's 1000% affected us as men. I mean, we see what's going on with us as men. I mean, like 50% of men from the ages of 18 to 30 have never approached a woman in their entire life. That's a real stat. 18 to 30, 50% of men have never approached a real woman in their entire life. That is so sad, okay? That should be one of the first things that a man should be taught is how to approach a woman respectfully and all that. I'm not even saying that just to talk to them, just to learn how to talk to women. As simple as that. And so the porn addiction or I guess I can't say whatever, but it's horrible. It's so bad. It's so bad for you. It keeps you in a lustful mindset. It keeps you in a mindset of being nervous around women, and it's very, very scary. So keep that in mind that it makes you weak. So if we put this back to like the whole weakness thing, it makes you a weaker human being. And you feel weaker after you do it. So that's the issue, is that it makes you weaker. It literally makes your body weaker, okay? Because you're indulging in something that you shouldn't be. It's as simple as that. Is working out early age make me less ambitious about working out in old age? Wait, working out at early age makes me less... I feel like it should make you more ambitious. If it's making you less ambitious, you got to make those workouts more fun. Or, like, eat a better diet to have more energy during your workouts. Because if you're not enjoying your workouts and your workouts aren't making you want to work out when you're older, then come on. What up? Scratch. Pre-med, thanks. Yeah, no problem. Or whatever we're talking about. Oh, yeah, that. You might get bored? No, bored. What, bored? Who gets bored during their workouts? I've never been bored during my workout. You guys need to be training harder. If you guys are bored during your workouts, you need to be training harder. I'm sorry. If you are genuinely bored before your workout or during your workout or after your workout, if you're like, I don't know, I'm bored, you're not training hard enough. Like, you need to literally be in there like life or death. Like, this is a war. This is a war, and not only this is a war, this is a war I'm gonna win. Okay? That's the mindset you need in the gym. If there is ever a thought of I'm bored, the second thought should be I'm not training hard enough then. If I'm feeling anything but not extremely tired, motivated, and like I'm in a fight to the death in the gym, then I'm not training hard enough. Simple as that. Like, some of y'all don't really understand what training hard is. Okay? Like, for me personally, I go off of the tint of my face. If my face and body is not, like, red, I'm not training hard enough. That's how I go off of it. If my body is looking paler or looking not as red or not as, pumped up or not as my blood flowing in my body, then I'm like, you're not training hard enough. You're not training hard enough, bro. You gotta train harder. You look weak, you look pale, and you don't look fired up and ready to go. So I go off of the red tint in my body. If my body's red, it's good. If it's not, then I'm not training hard enough. Simple as that. And if y'all go off of that, you'll always have the hardest training sessions possible because your body's gonna be red. I mean, now I know some of y'all don't have like white skin like me, so it's a little bit different. Same thing. As long as you sweat. Another thing too is if I'm not sweating, like dripping sweat, like from my head to my nose, I'm not training hard enough. I'm not training hard enough. If like there's not sweat literally dripping from my head to my nose, off of my nose, I'm not training hard enough. And you gotta train harder. When's your birthday? September 11th. I have dyspraxia. I don't call myself weak. I don't even know what that is. What's the best workout food for after? Steak and eggs, and rice. Steak, eggs, rice, sweet potatoes, fruits, raw dairy, raw milk. You like men? No. What's your thoughts about brain rot? I think brain rot is one of the worst possible things that has ever happened to us as a generation. And the fact that some people put it in their routine is actually kind of funny. But again, it's not too bad because at least you have a routine. Some people don't even have a routine. They're just on brain rot all day. But I think the fact that it's gone so deep in our society that people literally put it as a productive part of their routine to like chill out and like, okay, I'm going to, shower. I'm going to, make a nice meal, lift some weights, and I'm going to do brain rot for 30 minutes. I'm like, okay, like whatever floats your boat, like whatever gets you going and motivates you. But seriously, like, has this really gone this deep into our generation that people are using it as a productivity activity? Like, what? That's insane. So yeah, and I think the people that aren't using it as a productivity, which is 99.9% of the other people that are on brain rot, I think it's horrifying. I think it is literally the definition of what it says. It is rotting your brain. I will literally have people that I hang out with and I'll see their phone. I see what they see on their phone and I realize, oh my God, like I have not seen videos like this in 3-4 years because my For You page, my social media is filled now with workout, gym, diet, lifestyle, motivation. I've completely cleaned up my social media, which is another great strategy if you guys want to, easily stop scrolling and also get motivated. Just cleaning up your social media to only get videos of people working out, people eating good stuff, and people living a nature healthy lifestyle. That's the only possible way to get transition from scrolling to healthy lifestyle in an easy way. That's probably one of the easiest ways to do it for the first step. And so, yeah, I see my friends and I'm like, bro, what are you watching right now? Why are you watching this? Why is all the videos that you go across all just think something that's going to make your brain stupider? You don't even remember the videos you watch. You don't even save these. Like, that's the thing. Like, I save a lot of the videos I watch because they're motivating. They do a certain drive. There's certain videos I save on Instagram I listen to at the gym because they're that motivating for me. And then you have people over here that are watching the stupidest, most pointless brain rot of all time, like literal like edits of whatever, and I'm just like, what is going on? And it literally makes you dumber. You become a dumber human because of it. It's very, very, very scary. And then over time, if you have someone that avoids brain rot for 3 years, and then you have someone that's been doing brain rot for 3 years, and you have two different, like you have conversations with both of them, it's going to go two completely different ways. One person's going to be super stimulated on, the idea of the next funny joke or the next thing that looks interesting that's kind of wacky, while the other person is focused on goals, become the best version of themselves mentally, physically, spiritually, and living nice human experiences that help you grow and become the best version of yourself. A lot of you guys think that the second I say your focus should be your goals, like all of a sudden it's like, yeah, but we want to have fun. It's like, what do you mean? I want to have fun too. I love having fun. Fun's awesome. My life is fun. I literally want my gym to be a tropical YMCA where we lift weights all day, play sports in the sun, and eat yummy food. That sounds fun, super fun. But my entire point is I can't experience any of that unless I work really hard and, put aside temporary fun that's not even really that fun for extreme fun with my family, my kids, and friends when I have a lot of money. And I'm also going to be, the best version of myself, mentally, physically, and spiritually, which is fun. That's fun. It's fun to be healthy. It's fun to be the most mentally, spiritually, physically best version of yourself. It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. Like, y'all, some of y'all think that, you're just no fun. Like, it's so fun to do all this stuff. It's so fun to be tan, jacked, and helping people, go achieve their goals and train outside and lift weights and be in nature and eat yummy fruits and steak and, biohack your body and just improve overall. Like, that's fun. That's fun stuff to do. So keep that in mind. Do have a nice day. Bye, everyone. Yeah, peace. I'm going now. Enjoyed your stream. Liked and sub. See you, bro. Peace out, brother. Thank you for the sub. See you. Oh, thank you for all the subs. I just saw we just got a bunch of subs. Thank you, guys. Do you like to swim? I like to swim in lakes and the beach. Not really a pool person, but I like natural water. Is cycling better or walking? I would definitely say uphill biking is definitely good for your legs over walking, but both are good, and uphill is definitely better. So do both. And one thing my friend said yesterday, very quotable. Stop worrying about this or that at your age. Start worrying about this and that. Stop doing am I going to do this or that? Start about I'm going to do this and that, okay? So it's like this or that, like cycling or walking. No, cycling and walking. Work harder, work smarter. No, work hard and work smart. Diet or exercise. No, diet and exercise, okay? It's both together. That's the effect that actually works, okay? It's when you put both together and you send it off, okay? So you guys have to understand, it's very, very important. You guys stop worrying about that or that and start thinking about that and that. You guys aren't 40, 50, unless you are 40 and 50, but still, even in that case, you could still be like, no, I could still do more. But if you're at a young age, it is your best time to try as many things as possible. Learn, fail, learn what you like, learn what you don't. And also just, experience things, you know what I mean? Oh, yeah, I tried that for a little bit, Anytime, oh, yeah, I tried that for a little bit. Yeah, I did that. Oh, yeah, I did that for a little bit. Oh, yeah, that thing, I did that for a little bit. Oh, yeah, I did that for, wow, you just did all this stuff. You're not, one book. You know what I mean? You're not just, someone that's okay, I like anime, I watch anime, I do anime, that's all I do. It's no, I like anime, I watch anime, I also lift weights, I also play guitar, I also, go canoeing in the weekends, I also, wrestle people, I also do you do all this different stuff that doesn't make sense. That's what's cool, that's what's interesting, and that's what's actually gonna, give you, a lot of different, just genuine life experience, because you're trying all these different things. So you're dealing with a bunch of different people in a bunch of different scenarios, and you can always connect them back and okay, I've tried all these different things. What rules generally work for all of these different things? Well, working harder is never going to help is definitely one of them. Working harder is never not going to help. Working harder is never not going to help. I will say that 10 trillion different times. Working harder is never not going to help. Did your parents let you watch SpongeBob? Yes, but they also were they were also the vibe of nah, we also know that this isn't good for you. They also were nah, this isn't good for you. But they also weren't we're not gonna let you not watch it. Sports you play, I used to play lacrosse in high school, but football and basketball. Basically. Should I go for football or basketball? Like I said, brother, do both. Do both. Football and basketball are not at the same time. I know this for a fact because I play both. Okay? They're not at the same time. Okay? Do both football and basketball. That's what I did. You guys have to understand that basically from the age of 2nd grade to about 8th grade, it was basically football, basketball, football, basketball, football, basketball, football, basketball, football, basketball. That was me. That was my life. Football, basketball, football, basketball, football, basketball, football, basketball, football, basketball, football, basketball. And then finally in 8th grade, my dad's like, hey, man, you're not big enough to play football. So if you want to play a contact sport, you're going to have to be lacrosse. And then I switched over and played lacrosse in high school. That was my sports. But for a good part of my childhood, football, basketball, football, basketball, football, basketball, football, basketball, football, basketball. Just back and forth. It's the two best sports in my opinion. To watch and to play. 1 trillion gazillion %. What do you think about people that tell themselves every day that they will work out but never work out because their phone? Okay, so what do I think about the people that every single day they tell themselves they're going to work out and never do? I want those people to change their frame because right now they're lying to themselves. They're like, okay, I'm going to go work out, I'm going to work out, and then they don't. And they're like, what happened? Instead, what you need to do is be like, what's the reality of the situation if I keep lying to myself? And then picture it. Go like, okay, what will happen if I keep on saying I'm going to work out and then never do? What does my life look like in 10 years? Well, I'll probably be out of shape. I'll probably won't be in a relationship. I probably won't have a job. And I'll probably be really, really sad and depressed and lonely and want to, do really, really bad things. So that reality needs to scare you. It needs to really, really scare you. The idea of what you would turn out to be if you don't work out and you let your weakness get the best of you, the idea of what you look like, that idea needs to scare you. Okay, you need to picture it, you need to envision it, and let it scare you. Even emphasize it. Make it look bad. Like, literally put scenarios in your head of bad things that will happen if you don't work out, or bad things that will happen when you continuously lie to yourself. And like 10 years down the road, you're still the same physique, same sadness, same no relationship, all that different stuff. You need to picture that, okay? And that picture needs to scare you. It needs to scare you so much where you're like, I'm too scared. I'm too scared to live that lifestyle. I have to work out, because if not, then I'll look like that, what I just envisioned, which I can't happen. Like, there's a vision of me that I always think about that stopped working out, stopped caring about healthy lifestyle, and he's very, very unhealthy looking. And to be honest, I am afraid of that reality. Like, I'm afraid of it so much to the point where I think, like, anytime I actually need motivation, I'm like, okay, what do I look like if I don't do this right now? 10 years of line, and I just stopped all this. What would I look like? That scares me enough to never have that, because I can't look like that ever. You know what I mean? So I'll just constantly just be like, okay, can't look like that. Simple as that. Like, scary future situation, can't have that. You know what I mean? And you could even take it deeper. Like picture, like, you could even picture like some guy like beating you up in front of your girlfriend. Like, you could picture that because you didn't train hard enough, you didn't, get physically strong enough, and now some guy beats you up in front of your girlfriend. Like, picture that, envision that, okay? And then go to the gym. Okay, because if you don't have that thing that puts you in survival state, primal, tendencies of hormone striking and neurological, if I don't get stronger and bigger and train, someone could literally physically take my dignity and my woman and just completely destroy everything in my life just because I didn't train hard enough. That reality needs to scare you to where you train extremely hard. Okay, that's how you do it. And I could go deeper with that too, like full prison mode, like survival instincts. Like, you need to literally put yourself in survival state. So survival state is some guy will beat you up in front of your girlfriend if you don't train really hard. That's survival state. Simple as that. Do you remember me? Oh, what up? Felt wrestling, nice, good stuff. Hello. I have an interesting question, bro. What up? What if American had to choose stay in USA with normal life or take $5 million and never return again? Would you take the money? No, I would not take the money. I think I can make that money and still live in another country. And I'm not even saying I'm going to live in the USA for the rest of my life. But I don't think it's worth it to never live in the USA for the rest of my life, or never have the ability to go to the USA for the rest of my life. I don't think that's there. How do you play any games? No, I don't play any games. That's good advice. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Always trying to help y'all out, give y'all good advice, give y'all real advice. I hate beating around the bush. I hate, being weak or acting like we're weak here. We're not weak. I know my viewers are strong people. And so I want to give you advice that's actually going to help you use that strength that I already know you have. So that's why I tell you guys things like, nope, do the hard, cold reality of picturing what your life would be like if you didn't accomplish your goals. Make it tough, make it annoying, make it hurt, so then you have full motivation, a full reason to never allow that vision that you just pictured to ever actually become reality. Simple as that. As simple as that. Hello, how do you get abs? Train hard, train core movements, okay? Full body movements, have your diet locked in, bar stretches like pull-ups, muscle-ups, hangs, monkey bars, all this different stuff is really, really good for your core. I used to work at American Ninja Warrior Gym, and I never had a better core than when I worked out there because I was constantly doing swings with the rings and rope climbing and monkey bars and pull-ups and muscle-ups and all this different knee-ups and different things to keep the core really, really tight. There's a lot of different sports you could do to keep your core really, really tight, like paragliding or, kayaking or paddleboarding or all these different things. Really, really good for core, but you gotta find it, okay? Like, the truth is, six-pack is super easy. Or no, it's not. I'm not gonna say super easy. Super simple. Super simple. There's no secret hack or secret that no one's telling you, okay? It's just not easy, okay? But it is simple. Simple and easy, two different things. Easy means that there's not a lot of mental resilience involved. Simple means that it's, cause and effect. Like, simple is, it's simple to get abs. Cause and effect. You do this, you get the result, okay? Simple. Easy, mental resilience. You're going to need a lot of mental resilience during these workouts, during, cutting out the bad food that you're not supposed to be eating. But also, you can still eat good food like steak, eggs, salmon, fruits, and those are fine to eat to get abs, 1 trillion gazillion percent. Incline sit-ups with weight works wonders too. Yes, another thing is incline sit-ups too. I kind of don't give the incline sit-ups enough credit because I'm so big on the hanging bar stuff compared to sit-ups. But the truth is, because you're on incline sit-ups with weight, you are emphasizing that stretch. You are getting that, weighted stretch. So it actually is really good for the abs. So I don't really give it as much credit as I should because I'm so big on like the whole hanging on a bar instead of just 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, I hate that stuff. But the truth is about the incline sit-up is that it's such a slow movement, and you're definitely supposed to do it slow. You're definitely not supposed to do it fast. That it actually does give your ab that stretch that you're looking for. But the truth is, that's why I get so frustrated with people that are like, okay, well, I'll just do 100 sit-ups and then my abs will get good. And they're like, why do my abs look good? I'm like, because you're doing this all day. Thinking that you're going to get shredded from that. When really what's going to actually get you shredded is going 1, 2. That's what your reps should sound like and look like. Like, it should be 1, 2, and then it's like even slower. But unfortunately, sit-ups have this weird thing because they think that going faster is going to get them more cut, which is completely wrong. So then they go like 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm getting more cut. I'm like, no, you're not. No, you're not. You think that you're doing cardio and like muscle growth at the same time, but really you're not. Okay, you're just getting barely any muscle stimulus and getting a little bit of cardio in. Instead, get full muscle stimulus by doing the incline sit-ups or doing the hanging knee-ups, all that stuff, and then get your cardio by actually doing sprints or like actual high intensity training instead of just trying to do it while also like people got it so wrong. I got my first 4 abs completely because of incline sit-ups and planks. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, the incline sit-ups will definitely work, and the slower you do it, the more weight you can do, the better it's going to be. I'm telling you guys, the slower and more controlled it is, the better it is for your abs. Okay, I'm telling you. And also, planks are good too. Planks are really good, but planks are good for just overall building a bulletproof body because your entire body's tight, your core is obviously tight, and you're just consistently just sitting there, just everything's tight and everything's good and everything's just like good and just, stretched and intense. And then once you're done with the plank, it's like your entire body is now, more bulletproof. Your tendons and ligaments are better, you know what I mean? Because it's just a hold. So, I mean, you're not like moving around like 1, 2, 3, 4, possibly, injuring yourself. You're like, hold. Let me get my tendons as strong as possible. Let me get my ligaments as strong as possible. You know what I mean? That's the vibe that's going on. Are abs really made in the kitchen? Like I said, guys, this whole, like, are abs really made in the kitchen? Like, you guys act as if it's one thing. Like, is it the kitchen? Is it the training? It's both. It's both. You need both. You need to have a good diet, and you also need to have your training locked in. So, yes, when people are like, yes, abs are made in the kitchen. Like, yeah, to a certain extent, because you need to have a good diet. Like, you can't just be doing all these ab workouts and then have a bad diet. You're not going to get abs. But also, you can't just be doing all this good diet and not do ab training either, okay? You need to also get the abs to pop out. So this whole idea that like, oh, is it one or the other? It's both, okay? When you guys are asking like, is it this or that? Stop with the is it this or that. It's really, for most of the time, it's this and that. When it comes to training and exercise and training and diet, it's this and that. When it comes to working harder or working smarter, it's this and that. And when it comes to, everything else in the world that you're trying to do that you think are both good stuff, but you don't know which one's better, try both. Because because you're at a young age, and that's the best time to do it. That's what I'm assuming I'm talking to, people in their mid-20s. That's the people I help out. Uh, for real, I saw the parenting. I saw with parenting makes weakness. I was winning first fight in psychology, won last fight. Yes, parenting could definitely make weakness, especially like you guys ever heard of helicopter parenting? And I definitely saw it a lot more in college because you guys don't see it in high school much because these kids are usually homeschooled. But helicopter parenting is basically just a parent that's over the kid, way too protective, not letting them, go out in the world and, get taken down by the wolves kind of vibe. Like just throw them out to the wolves and let them survive type vibe. That's the best for any man, to be honest. So I understand why parents could definitely make, you feel like weak or, and sometimes there's even a situation where you need to recognize it, understand that your parents are being too weak with you, and be like, okay, this is my disadvantage. Okay, I was given, I got money, right? I'm given, good food, and my parents love me, but they are way too coddled over everything I do, and they're making me a weak human being. I need to understand this. I need to, not only just do way stronger things, but also explain to them that they can't be over me like this, and also prove to them that they don't need to be, okay? That's another thing. But I noticed it's a lot bigger chance of it happening, like a helicopter parent on the West Coast. That's in California. That's just what I noticed. Like for me personally, the idea, like I just never remembered any kids in high school ever having like helicopter parents like that, or like parents where genuinely they were over everything. And I still went to a school where you would get kids like that, and still it wasn't that big of a deal. But once I came to college out here on the West, I was like, oh my God, some of these people are seriously behind on life. And the issue is, and this is a big California issue, is that California went through their whole movement of like psychedelics and drugs and all that, and that was in like the hippie area or whatever. Here's the issue: those people had kids, and those kids had kids, and those kids are now screwed up, and that's what happened. And that's why we see, like, how did it get this bad? That's how it got bad, because those kids had kids. Because those crazy kids, those crazy parents, those crazy hippies that we saw in California were like, what the hell's going on? Why are these people all crazy and stuff? They had kids. And then those kids that were from the crazy hippie parents, they had kids. Picture how crazy those kids will be. Come on. Bro, you should visit KSA. What is that? I don't even know what that is. The Industrial Revolution and its consequences have been a disaster for the human race. You know what? The Industrial Revolution, there is definitely some interesting stuff about how it has affected humans overall with everything. So I would have to actually somewhat agree that there is, some certain validity to the idea that, you know, the Industrial Revolution has taken away, certain human values that we've always kind of have and kind of left behind, and now we're confused on why we feel like we don't have any values or morals. Is water fasting for 4 days dangerous? Okay, so no, I don't think it is. My opinion is it's not, but you have to do your research and you have to be smart, okay? So a lot of people, when they go into fast, here's where they mess up. They don't do any research and they don't do it the smart way, okay? They don't watch anyone else do it. They're just like, okay, I don't eat and whatever. So then before, they eat shit food. So they're like, okay, this is my last meal, so I'm going to have cereal and donuts and then I'm going to do a fast. It's like, wait. Wrong. Because the whole point of the fast is that the whole point of the fast is that you're using the things that are in your body as fuel, okay? So you're starting to burn so what the thing in your body before you fast, that food is extremely important. So your last meal should be like steak, eggs, fruit, vegetables, all that different stuff. But people, they do fast wrong, okay? And then you know but so you're just saying water fasting. So basically not basically, yeah, not eating but still drinking water. Like I said, I think it's fine, but you have to do your research, okay? You have to be able to look at other people trying it, see how they do it. Don't just eat donuts before, okay? Don't have a horrible lifestyle and scroll all day in your phone and still stick to your addictions and all that when you're doing the fast. Like, there's certain things you need to be doing during the fast to keep yourself healthy. Like, yes, consistently drinking water, getting in nature, maybe stretching, avoiding like stressful situations. There's so many different things that you need to be doing. So that's why the reason a lot of people get fast wrong. But a 4-day water fast is fine. A lot of people, especially if you have any body fat at all, 1 trillion% is fine. Like I said, the human body could go like three weeks without eating. Like, a lot of people have that misconception, like, you need to eat 3 meals a day. Like, that the idea of 3 meals a day came from some guy that wanted men to have less energy. Just so you guys know, like, the idea that 3 meals a day is healthy, that entire idea came from a guy that said, I don't want men to have higher energy, because if they do, then they might revolt against us and we need to control them. So if you want to go off of that idea from those people, then go ahead and keep eating your 3 meals a day. But if not, and you actually want to do intermittent fasting and actually learn how to optimize your testosterone, become the best version of yourself, build muscle easier, and be smarter and be faster and more mentally cognitive, then I would recommend you start doing fast. And start just experimenting. Don't just do a 4-day fast after not, like, do like a 1-day fast first, do a 2-day fast first, do a 3, like, all these things you could do, but you have to practice trial and error research and figure out that space, okay? Because I could give you all the information as possible, but at the end of the day, if I wanted to do a fast tonight, I would look up a bunch of videos from a bunch of different people talking about their experience about it, so I can learn about it. You should visit Saudi Arabia? Oh. Should I cut or bulk? Brother, what are we talking about? Should I cut or bulk? Guys, you guys should be building muscle. There should be no, like, question, like, should I cut? Should I bulk? What should I... Build muscle. Build as much muscle as possible, okay? Build as much muscle as possible. That's all I care about. If you're extremely overweight, then you should be focused on losing weight, but still building muscle, okay? So just build muscle. Build muscle, build muscle, build muscle. How do I build the most amount of muscle possible? Let me research how to build the most amount of muscle possible. And then that's the thing. But if you're overweight, then obviously you still need to cut. But that part of cutting is just building muscle. You know what I mean? So it's like, you guys have to understand what position you're in. But if you're skinny fat, like, if you genuinely are skinny fat, like fat around your body but skinny arms, and you're sitting here trying to say, like, okay, should I cut or bulk? Like, bro, just build muscle. Just build muscle. Just focus on building muscle, training high intensity, eating high protein, and building muscle, okay? Everything else will come, okay? But that should be your main focus. How do I build muscle? How do I optimize my testosterone, okay? Don't worry about, do I cut? Do I bulk? Like, unless you're a pro bodybuilder on a shit ton of roids, cutting and bulking really shouldn't even be things that cross your mind. Just build as much muscle as possible, optimize testosterone as much as possible, and that's about it. And optimizing testosterone means diet, lifestyle, everything. Everything. Diet, lifestyle, everything, training, everything. Boca Boys Fishing Club in the Playhouse. Oh. Who is this? My bad. Yo, I low-key fuck with you, bro. Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you, man. How did the name Saudi Arabia get? I don't even know. The fuck? What's King? Okay, yep, the full name. Yep, Saudi Arabia. Who are you? Just watch. You'll figure it out eventually. What are we talking about now? We're talking about, how to become the best version of yourself, how to become less weak. Simple as that. Omega creeps have low chance to do anything with primal talking lifestyle. I goes testosterone helps me, not always. True, and I know, and unfortunately, a lot of those people watch my stuff, and they'll hear it and they won't care at all, and it's very, very sad. Like, there is definitely some people that watch my stuff that don't care at all about what I'm saying and purely are just wanting to watch my stuff because they're creeps. And yeah, it sucks because the truth is, I still, even as crazy as it sounds, I still want to help those people. Like, I still, even if you're a creep watching my stuff, because I literally can't control you, obviously I'd prefer if you didn't watch it as a creep. But the truth is, if you are, at least get some benefit out of it. Start doing push-ups, start eating healthier lifestyle, and start trying to raise your testosterone naturally. I still have that, even if, like, I don't want you to watch my stuff at all because you don't use it the correct way. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Workout, hell yeah. You good? Hell yeah. What up, what up? And yeah, some people just need to take testosterone. There's no like hack. Some dudes are just so low testosterone and they're just never like, they're like, bro, I don't want to do all the BS. I don't like that there's all these rules. I just want to, be bigger and stronger. Like, I don't like that I have to do all this stuff. I'm like, okay, then just take it. You're weak and there's nothing you can do about it, then take testosterone is what it is. Your life may be a little bit shorter, but you know what? At least you're not low test anymore. So, like, I don't know. 13, scared of future. What tips would you give me as a grown-up? Tips I would give you as a grown-up is become the best version of yourself. Don't be weak. Be strong, okay? Every time the life gives you an opportunity to be strong, be strong. Every time life says you could either be strong or weak in this situation, be strong, okay? A lot of the issues is, like, a lot of people are afraid to grow up, which is obviously normal. It's literally a part of growing up. I'm pretty sure every single person that grows up is afraid of growing up. Like, so it's very normal to have those. But the way to combat it is actually to just do those grown-up things at a younger age, so then when you're a grown-up and you'll notice that your friends haven't done a lot of these things and you actually have, it's way easier. So things like driving a car, you guys should get on that right away and be the first one driving your car as soon as possible, so then, you're not nervous about it and you're not holding it up or whatever. Same thing with working a job or making money or lifting weights. Like, if you advance yourself, then when becoming an adult won't be that hard, because as a kid you're already doing adult things. You know what I mean? That's the true hack. If you're really afraid of becoming an adult, is right now start doing adult things. So then being an adult becomes used to like just life that you're just used to. And then when you become an adult, you're like, whoa, this is super easy already. I already do all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like, don't be so afraid. Like, I only have 3 months and then I have to, be on my own. Like, I only have 3 months, and like, don't count it down. Like, be like, no, I'm going to set this up. So when I actually do become an adult, then it's going to be super easy to transition into that. How do I gain muscle but I'm skinny and 15? Okay, so you gain muscle by training high intensity, training to failure, and eating a good diet of healthy, nutritious food: steak, eggs, salmon, fruits, vegetables, raw dairy, okay? Focusing on high protein and focusing on not eating BS, okay? That is one of the number one things for you, is focusing on eating good foods and cutting out the BS, and training intensely, and training to failure, and having your lifestyle locked in and getting good sleep with good nature, lifestyle, and testosterone optimization. There's many different things, but the main thing is eat high protein, lift heavy weights. Simple as that, okay? If you do that, it is impossible for you not to build muscle as a skinny person. And you have to understand, you're skinny too, so it's not like it's going to be harder for you to build muscle. Obviously, things are going to be longer. But the truth is, it's going to be more worth in the end, because you worked harder than everyone else. And if you worked harder than everyone else, you can apply that mindset into anything. But you have to do it first, so then you have that mindset. It's like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, you guys had all this advantages. Yeah, you guys put on muscle easier than me, but I still look better than you because I worked 10 times harder than you. And now I have this mindset to put into business, relationships, or anything in my life. So just keep that in mind. That's not like it's a blessing in disguise when you're skinny, because you have that cutthroat mentality to become the best version of yourself and work a lot harder, and understand that good things take a lot longer and it's more worth it. That's how you have to do it. That's how you have to think about it. Is caffeine good for kids, and does it affect your height? I don't think caffeine affects your height. I've been heard it does. But the thing is, if you're worried about your height and you want to get your height better, then everything you should be focusing on is testosterone optimization, okay? Becoming the best, healthiest version of yourself. So your diet, if you're actually like, oh my God, I want to actually be tall, your diet should be clean as possible, okay? Only nutrient-dense food, only food that you're supposed to be eating, and cutting out the BS that you're not supposed to be eating, okay? Raw milk, okay, for growth hormone factors, red meat, eggs, all testosterone optimization, sprints, heavy lifting for growth hormone factors, stretching on the bar, stretching in general, okay, getting outside, getting in sun, okay, you need to research this stuff a little bit. Look at the Maasai tribe and what they do. Some of them drink raw milk and blood only, and they're like the tallest tribe of all time. They don't eat for like a year. So keep that in mind. Also, another thing that could help with getting taller is fasting. Just purely fasting, like fasting for a day, not eating for a day. That is one of the best ways to produce growth hormone, which can get you taller. So all of these different things could get you taller, but you have to research and be like, okay, like what do these people do to get taller? What do these people do to get taller? And then research it, okay? Because if you're at that age right now, this is the only time to actually be able to maybe get taller, okay? So do that. Like do the research, do the strategies, do the hanging on the bar, cut out the fast food, cut out the scrolling, cut out the video games, because again, the light's really bad too. The bad light, the bad, internet, all that is really, really going to not help you grow because you're not getting good sleep. Your eyes are all messed up. Your brain's all messed up. And the growth hormone factors are not producing the same as if you're looking at nature and stuff like that. So all of those things are extremely important, but it all goes back to just being a human in nature. You know what I mean? Simple as that. Hunting down animals and, like being in the sun and yeah. What do you study? Do you got a job? If yes, then what is it? I don't study anything right now. I'm technically in college studying interdisciplinary studies, but really I'm not using it for anything. I'm just in college because that's just where I am at right now. My job is coaching men on testosterone optimization, lifting weights, and becoming the best versions of themselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. So I have a coaching program. If you're interested in that coaching program, you can shoot me a DM on Instagram or shoot me a comment on YouTube, and I can send you a direct link to my one-on-one coaching. And we could do a call, see if you're serious about your goals, serious about changing your life, and we could go from there. That's what I do. I pretty much help men in their 20s raise testosterone naturally by building muscle and getting a good diet. Okay. What do you study? I eat 2 Big Macs and lift every day, a week, and eggs. Almost 2 eggs a day. Bro, just cut out the Big Macs and switch it to like 6 to 12 eggs a day, bro. Some of y'all think 2 eggs, like, wait, is 2 or 3? Like, bro, if you actually want protein, there's only 6 grams of protein in an egg. You need a shit ton of eggs. It should be like 8 to 12 eggs a day, okay? I'm not saying all in the morning, but at least some of that. And cut out the Big Macs, cut out the bullshit. You're not getting any fuel there. You're not getting any power there. Big Macs are not going to give you power. Eggs are going to give you power. At what age should a man rightfully throw in the towel if he's been rejected and ignored by women his entire life? All right, I think this is actually the topic that we're going to end off of because the stream's going a little too long, but I still want to talk about this. And I hope you're still in here. At what age should a man rightfully throw in a towel if he's been rejected and ignored by women his entire life? So, my mindset is never. Okay? My whole mindset is no quit. Okay, the number one thing that you can have as a man is the ability to say, I will never quit. And that comes with pursuing women. So here's the thing. If you've constantly been rejected by women, constantly, and guess what? You guys are looking at Mr. getting rejected by women. I've gotten rejected by many, many women. I know you guys are like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? You have to understand, look at some old videos of how I used to act, how I used to talk. I was not this person, okay? It took me a lot of time to switch this version of myself and become the best version of myself, but it would have never happened if I would have never gotten rejected by women in the first place, because it wouldn't have motivated me to become this best version of myself that now actually has successful relationships. So my opinion is what age a man should rightfully throw in the towel is never. Unless you are dead, then you should never quit. Unless your heart stops, you should never throw in the towel, and you should constantly be pursuing women, okay? The truth is, okay, we live in a world now where there is a lot of men that are extremely rejected by women. And another thing, too, is 18 to 30, men in 18 to 30, 50% of them now have never approached a woman, which to me is insane. So when we put all these things together, it's like, okay, like, how many women have you actually talked to? How many women have you actually given yourself a chance to talk to? Because, like I said, I've heard some guys be like, no, man, I'm always getting rejected by girls. And then I'm like, well, who's the last couple girls you talked to? And they'll name like 3 or 4 girls. I'll be like, bro, you need to get your numbers up. Like, And you can't talk about being rejected unless you've talked to like 50 to 100 different women and all of them rejected you. Then you can start being like, bro, I'm getting rejected. And even then, you're getting practice by talking with women, which will get you better. So I would say if you're one of those people that's like, man, like I don't know what to do. I always get rejected. Should I just throw in the towel? My thing is this. You have the full motivation. Clearly, you're bothered about this situation. You have full motivation to change it and change this and become a story of someone that used to get rejected by women that now doesn't. You're on chapter 1. Chapter 1. I thought I was going to throw in the towel. I've been rejected by women too much, and it is what it is. Chapter 2. I decided to flip the script, use it as motivation, and become the best version of myself, get tan, jacked, make a bunch of money, and become good looking and glow up or whatever, and just become the best version of myself mentally, physically, and spiritually. Chapter 3. Now I found the woman of my dreams who actually respects me and my work and my grind, and was super surprised at how I ever went through that in the first place. Chapter 4, I now help other men do the same thing because I know that other men are lost and is one of the biggest problems, so I'm here to help you guys as well. Chapter 5, blah, 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 go on. Make sure people pick up your book off the shelf in the library. Many people's books are going to be walked past. And I'll tell you right now, the men that throw in the towel after being rejected by women and never pursue them, their books are going to go walked right past. And that's a very, very sad reality. But guess what? Your book could be different. Your reality could be different. If you can flip the script right now, if you can go, chapter 2, I was different. Chapter 2, I changed my mind. Chapter 3 is when things, and when, like, if you can really change the script, people are actually going to go in the library and your book's going to be on the top shelf. People are going to be like, that's a good book. I would read that book. I would read that book. That was a good book. People are going to recommend your book. And when I'm talking about a book, I'm talking about your life, okay? There's not one good book where there's not a significantly bad problem that happens. Not one good book, not one good movie, not one good video game. So when there's bad things happening to your life and they seem really, really bad, you have to understand this is the start of this movie. This is the start of the book. This is the start of the video game, okay? And I know you feel so lost and so trapped at the time. And the only way to get out of it is to use the sadness and motivation to become better. Use it. And yeah, it's not going to be easy, but that's what makes it worth it. If it was easy, then everyone would have it. If it was easy to just, get a bunch of women, then everyone would do it. And it wouldn't be something that people struggle with. But the truth is, it needs to feel like you earned it. It needs to feel like it's worth it. Okay? And I know that sounds a little harsh. Like some of you were kind of maybe sold a false reality that'll just happen, or it'll just be handed to you, or there's one thing. Don't worry, they'll just come. Don't worry, you'll find your person. Fuck that. Fuck that. Fuck that. And I'm sorry to get too deep with this, because this will be the end of this, but fuck that. Fuck the idea of you'll find your person. No. Put a reality in your head that you will be alone for the rest of your life if you do not become the best version of yourself. Put it in a reality in your head that if I don't lift weights, if I don't try to make a bunch of money, if I don't try to become the best version of myself mentally, physically, spiritually, glow up, if I don't do any of these things, then I will not get to experience the things that I always was told I was going to experience and want to experience in my life. You have to do that. Sorry, you have to. You have to. You have to. You absolutely have to, okay? So do not get in the mindset of if someone tells you, and I know that maybe even an adult will tell you, your person will come. Like, don't worry, just wait. Just relax. Your person will come. Screw that. I know many people that have been told that now are sitting in their houses alone at 50 years old who wishing that someone will come that will never come. Because especially as a man, if you do not put in a bunch of work to become the best version of yourself, it will not come easy. It will not. I'm sorry. It will not, okay? This idea that it'll just come easy and you'll find your person, I'm sorry, but nowadays, as a man, if you really want that true, good, romantic experience, you need to become the best version of yourself. You need to work hard. You need to lift weights. You need to get a good diet. You need to follow your dreams and passion. You need to do all of these things, okay? And it is what it is, okay? But here's the thing. I don't want to tell my fans or people listening to me, you're okay. You'll find your person. No. Don't worry. Just keep doing what you're doing. I don't want to tell you that. Because guess what? If I tell you that and you don't find your person, then I'm sad. I'm bothered that I didn't give you the correct advice. But guess what? If I tell you, no, stop doing this. Stop doing this. Put a reality in your head that this is really bad and you could be really lonely in the future. And then guess what? That'll scare you so much that you actually find someone. And then you'll come back to me and say, I actually found someone and I'm very happy for the advice you gave me. And then I'll be much more happy than just telling some fan, no, 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 you're okay. Keep doing what you're doing. You're fine. Stay comfortable. No, no. If you listen to me, you need to put in the work. You need to not quit. You need to go for these things, okay? I want you to experience good things in your life. I want you to have fun, okay? Fun is winning. Winning is fun. Winning is the most fun thing you could do, okay? So if you're winning in your relationships, that's fun, okay? So yeah, I hope you're still in here, brother. If you heard all that, that was pretty much what I got going on. But yeah, brother, no, don't throw in the towel, man. There's a reality where you do win. And that reality is, workouts and a healthy lifestyle ahead of you. Those are the only steps that are ahead of that. That's the only thing between the reality of you that wins and the reality of you that doesn't. And again, another thing, I know it's so simple to say, but here's the truth. The reality of you that is successful compared to the reality of you that's not, the version of you, is literally the version of you that does the work to the version of you that doesn't. And I know it's so simple. You're like, what do you mean? That's like the most simple. It's true, though. There's two versions of you. One that's going to win because he does the work, and one that's not going to win because he doesn't do the work. Sometimes all it comes down to is doing the work and not doing the work. And I know it's so simple, but it's so true. So I'm going to continue to say it. And I'm going to continue to say it over and over again in different ways so you can still in your head. Because me saying it once won't be enough. If I say it 10 different times, then you'll be like, okay, well, clearly if he's saying it this much, then clearly he's important about it. And also, in math, you guys aren't just given one lesson, okay? They give you 10 different lessons, 10 different ways to learn it, so you actually learn the material. I think of my stuff the same way. I can't just give it to you once. I need to give it to you 10 different ways, 10 different forms, so it actually gets in your head. I'm so late on this, my bad. What up, what up, what up, what up? Benji, was good. How old are you? 21? Where you live? Arizona right now. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? Clips was good. Still weak? Okay, if you're weak, bro, like I said, you gotta become like the best for yourself. You gotta lift weights, okay? You gotta get a good diet, okay? I know you might still be feeling weak, but the truth is you have to focus on raising your testosterone naturally, becoming the best version of yourself. So like I said, when you said you're still weak, like I said, bro, if you're feeling like you're still weak, you have to keep on becoming the best version of yourself. You have to get really, really strong, okay? You have to, focus on every single time God gives you an opportunity to say you could be strong or weak in this sense, you have to choose strength, okay? That is how you grow as a human being. So yeah, brother, and I like when y'all are vulnerable and honest, saying like you're still feeling weak and stuff like that, brother. I love that because I could definitely help y'all out with stuff like that. So if you're still feeling weak, like I said, not to quit anything, lifting weights, whatever your passion is, if you do a sport, or even if you do like anything, like if you're a YouTuber, anybody that's in here, any passion that you have, cannot quit. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, dude, exactly, brother. So you got soccer and football, you got that stuff. Okay, here's what you do. You say, okay, you got YouTube and football and soccer. So much different stuff you have that you can grow and become the best at, okay? So I would recommend find what you like more, football or soccer, and try to go harder on one of those. I'm not saying you have to cancel out. You can do both sports. That's fine. But just try to find which one you like more so you can actually get better at it. And for YouTube, post. If you have a YouTube channel and you think you have valuable content, post it, okay? Literally post it. Because the only way you're going to find out if you actually do is if you post it and then get results back. And then you find what works. And if you find what works, then what happens is you post that again and recreate it and make it better. And you keep posting, okay? That's what you got to do. Like football way more? Oh, yeah, good stuff. Then keep doing football. I like football way more as well. But, yeah, guys, keep it up. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep being strong, mentally cognitive, and not weak, okay? That's my thing, is that every time God gives you an opportunity to be weak, like you could either be weak in the situation or you could be strong in the situation, okay? Like, and that goes as deep as dinner. That goes as deep as, like, your sports game. That goes as deep as waking up in the morning. That goes as deep as, your test and studying for all these different things. Like, God will be like, okay, I have the opportunity to be weak right now, or I have the opportunity to be strong. Which one am I going to choose? That's basically what it is. Okay. Well, that's probably going to end the stream, to be honest. It was a good stream. Oh, thank you for the sub, brother, by the way. Definitely a good stream. Definitely got a lot in. We got some subs from it too, which is definitely good. So, yeah, definitely been a good stream. And I'm definitely going to have a stream later tonight. Talk way more chill, probably way more Ask Me Anything vibe. I know, brother. I'm sorry. I know you just hopped in here. But yeah, I got a bunch of streams also if you want to check those out. Talking about a lot of the same thing. But I'll also be streaming later tonight as well. I'll be streaming tonight for sure. But hell yeah, definitely good questions in here. Definitely went over a lot of good advice. And I want y'all to like leave the stream will probably be around like 8 or 9. I want y'all, once I end this stream, to actually like not just sit there and be like, okay, that was good. Now let me go back to whatever I do. Like be like, okay, I like this advice. I like what's going on. I like the vibe. So here it's raw, unfiltered. Like I said, okay. Like I put in all my pretense of my videos is that it's raw, unfiltered content. So if you're like underage or you can't handle like any offensive language, then you shouldn't really watch it. But if you're mature enough to watch it, you actually want to grow and become the best version of yourself, then you're welcome to stay. But I do have age restrictions on it, and I do have a disclaimer warning on it because this is for men in their 20s trying to optimize their testosterone. But if you still believe that you can, get good advice from it and help yourself out, then 1,000% I would say you're good to watch it. 1,000%. I can't control who watches it anyway. But my target market audience is men in their 20s trying to raise testosterone naturally. So hell yeah. Hell yeah. Good stuff. All right. So yeah, that'll be it. I'll hop in the next one soon. But yeah.